Welcome to the channel and welcome to Warhammer 40k 8th edition. It's Death Guard versus Adeptus Custodes. Today on the channel we return to Babington 9, where my Death Guard warband, known as the End of All Things, has been ravaging and pillaging and ruining this place, making it fit for Grandfather Nurgle. But on this particular battle grid, in this particular sector of the city, it looks like this area has been left untouched, unpurged, uncleansed by Nurgle fire. Why is that? Well, it's because the Adeptus Custodes are here. They've been defending this sector. They've planted their flag and they have said no more. No more will the End of All Things be able to rampage in and ruin this place. And so, for the first time on Winter's SEO, Mortarian, Demon Primarch of the Death Guard, will be leading this attack itself. And to be fair to the Adeptus Custodes, I think they'd very much like to get their teeth into the Demon Primarch Mortarian and cut him a new one. So Mortarian will be leading this charge. The Adeptus Custodes will be standing in there in his way, or rather quickly redeploying to this place to absolutely slaughter him. So we are playing the Maelstrom of War mission, Cleanse and Capture. That's the one where you get 3 particular cards a turn every turn, because the Death Guard want to capture this site and because the Adeptus Custodes want to cleanse Mortarian from the face of the galaxy. And we're doing Search and Destroy deployment. I think it's called Search and Destroy deployment. That's the one where you have table quarters. The Death Guard will be deployed up this end. There's 2 objectives down here, and the Adeptus Custodes will be racing in from this end. There's 2 objectives down this end as well. All of these buildings will count as ruins. Well, they're basically locked down and barricaded up. We won't be able to go in there, but if you're wholly within the terrain police, you'll get +1 cover save. There's 2 objectives in no man's land there, so plenty of line of sight locking terrain all across the table for the Adeptus Custodes to guard their advance as they come rushing forward. And we welcome back to the channel one more time Sorcerer Dave. Say hi, Sorcerer Dave.
Hi, Sorcerer Dave. This is the bit where I awkwardly sort of promote myself like last time.
Yes.
Hi, I'm from YouTube as well, and I have a channel and
yes.
stuff.
Sorcerer Dave is on YouTube. He's got many more subscribers than moi. I think 80,000 subscribers.
It's coming up to 75,000 now.
75. And you're on Twitch.
Yeah.
And you do live streaming on Twitch as well.
Yes.
What games are we live streaming right now on Twitch? What's on
moment,
Twitch?
We are streaming Pillars of Eternity.
I don't know what that is.
It's a role-playing game. Are you ever familiar with Baldur's Gate?
Yes.
I am
old.
like that. It's just like that.
I played Baldur's Gate back in the day.
We're doing that. We're doing Xenonauts, which is a bit like XCOM.
Okay, right.
And we're doing a game called Kenshi, which is a very weird indie game.
Kenshi.
Yes.
So you stream games, that's live on Twitch. YouTube is the clips and the bits like that. So check out Sorcerer Dave's YouTube channel for all that sort of stuff. Hey, are many of your Twitch followers and stuff like that who play these kind of games, do they do 40k as well?
Yeah.
They do?
We've got our own, on the Discord actually, for my channel, we've actually got a little sort of Warhammer hobby corner bit on there with people playing pictures and stuff. So, yeah.
Sweet. There we go. So geeks fly together, ducks fly together. It's good stuff. I think I've spoken about everything. 2,500 points. I don't think I mentioned that yet, which means the Adeptus Custodes have got about 3 models. So let's go and have a look at these armies. Right, this is 2,500 points worth of Death Guard. It's a single battalion detachment and a super heavy auxiliary Lord of War detachment, which is Mortarian, and Mortarian himself will be leading the charge. And Rob Not Steve recently painted him up for me. If you check out his channel, 30k plus 40k, you will see all the painting stuff on here. And Mortarian is an absolute beast. He allows you to re-roll hit rolls of 1 within 7 inches of him. He's got the Arch Contaminator Warlord trait, and of course he'll be my Warlord, which means re-rolling to wound or plague weapons within 7 inches of him. Enemy units, I believe, are -1 toughness within 7 inches of him. And he's got this Host of Plagues ability. So at the start of the fight phase, you roll a dice, and within 7 inches of him on a 4-up or a 5-up or a 6-up, depending on how degraded he is, English, he does mortal wounds. So big aura buffer there. And he's an absolute beast in close combat, and he can deny 3 powers. He knows 3 powers, can cast 2 powers, one of them being Smite. The other 2 I've given him are Miasma of Pestilence, Putrescent Vitality. He's also got Gift of Contagion. He knows 3 powers plus Might, so that's 4 in total. He can cast 2, deny 3. He's a beast. And with him is a Malignant Plaguecaster as well, when I've given him Miasma of Pestilence and Putrescent Vitality. Both the same sort of stuff, so I don't forget to do them ever. And my relic is, I've given him the Pandemic Staff, so it's +1 to his Smite rolls. And then joining him in battle, of course, are the Brothers Grimm. If Mortarian is going to appear on the channel for the first time, then the Brothers Grimm are going to come with him. And these guys have been deployed on Babington 9 for some time now, so they're going to murder death kill with their demon Primarch. And then I've got 2 units of 7 Plague Marines in the background. Now, one unit has got 2 Blight Launchers in it with 2 close combat weapons. This one, 2 Blight Launchers with 2 close combat weapons. And the 2 units at the back have got 2 Plasma Guns and Plasma Gun on the Sergeant. All the Sergeants in the Plague Marine squad have got Plasma Guns. And then 2 Rhinos, 2 Plague Burst Crawlers with Entropy Cannons, and 2 Fetid Bloat Drones, and they've got the heavy Blight Launcher, I want to say. It's basically a plague weapon, so if they're within 7 inches of Mortarian, they'll be re-rolling to wound with those weapons as well. I also like the Fetid Bloat Drones a lot, because they're highly mobile in a list that typically is not very mobile at all. Then we've got 3 elites, a Foul Blightspawn, a Biologist Purifier, and the Tallyman. Now the Foul Blightspawn has a quite nasty Flamer type weapon that auto hits and a one-off Death's Head grenade. If I manage to pull it off, I'll show you what it does. The Biologist Purifier, well, he increases the strength of any blight grenades thrown by any Plague Marine units by 1. Normally they're strength 3, but they go up to strength 4. And on 6s, you can do mortal wounds when he's close by. And the other thing about him, because he's got so many grenades on him, when he dies, he can blow up on a 4 and does D3 mortal wounds to anything around him, except for Nurgle units. They find it rather refreshing, that shower of filth. And the Tallyman is here to keep a tally of what's going on. He's essentially like a chaplain. Reroll a hit, aura around him, and when command points are spent or stratagems are spent, you roll a dice, and on the 7 you get your stratagem back or your command point back. So 2d6, or you roll 2d6 and you want to get that 7. But I brought these 3 along because Mortarian is along, and Mortarian wouldn't suffer any Death Shroud Terminators or Blight Lord Terminators near him. He's a rather embittered, cruel, demonic demon Primarch. He's not a very nice guy when you read any of the narrative, any of the books. And he typically doesn't like having any Terminators near him because he thinks they might steal his glory. So I didn't bring any along, and instead I brought along these 3 characters instead. Of course, they're characters, so they won't be able to be targeted unless they're the closest thing. But this is 2,500 points of death card. Mortarian is here for the first time. Not particularly mobile. Not a lot of units either. Didn't want to bring a ton of Poxwalkers, so there are none. But because it's a low model count, highly elite-ish type army, and I'm going up against a very low model count, highly elite type army, this should be a very interesting game. Right, this is just south of 2,500 points worth of Custodes. It's a battalion, which gives you 8 command points plus the Vanguard.
Yep.
Vanguard 1, that's the one with 3 elites, because we've got an elite, and extra HQ in there as well. So do you want to talk me through these? From Golden Light they come. Heroes of the Imperium.
I can indeed.
Who's your warlord?
Our warlord today is the Captain General himself.
Nice.
Mr. Trajan Valorous. I considered giving it to someone else because honestly his warlord trait is not the greatest. It's Champion of the Imperium.
Right.
So it gives everybody around within 12 inches of him the ability to heroically intervene, which is not bad.
Right.
But some of the other traits they have available are probably better.
Yes.
At the end of the day, it's the Captain General himself here
Yes.
to face down Mortarian. If we're not making him the warlord, we're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
In my opinion, so he's here. Instead of 3 more Terminators, which I could have taken instead, but hey.
All right. And then Shield Captains, you've got 4 of them here. Allow you to re-roll hit rolls of 1 within range, and Custodes hit on 2s anyway. And then this guy allows you to re-roll a wound as well.
Reroll ones to wound as well. Yeah.
Nice. So re-roll a hit, re-roll a wound in range of him. And he's an absolute beast, isn't he? I think he hits on 2s, re-rolling, and that axe is strength 10.
Yep.
So he's a tank.
As far as I'm aware, this
Yeah.
guy is probably the toughest close combat unit the Imperium get that isn't Guilliman.
He should be.
So,
Him versus Drago. Does this guy have a throw up and Vun as well?
yep.
Okay, so yeah, he's probably tougher than Drago. Okay, what else we got? What else we looking at?
Well, we've also got 3 squads of the just regular custodian guards. I've got a split between the sword guys and the spear guys. The
Yes.
sword guys are there with their shields to soak up nasty shots coming in with the 3 up in Vaughn. Everyone else has got a 4 up.
Yes.
The reason for these slightly odd squad numbers
Yes.
is that I had to remove one in order to give everybody the little Misericordia daggers.
Nice.
And the reason I did that is because if you've read the codex for these guys, you'll know that they never leave home without the daggers if they're fighting Chaos Space Marines.
Right.
It's a thing. They're not very superstitious, the Custodes. It's sort of bred out of them, but they have this one thing they are superstitious about, and it is the daggers.
Okay.
They always try to bring them along whenever they can against Chaos. So
typically you'd field 3 units of 4, but you're fielding 1 of 3 for narrative purposes. I love it. And that dagger, the Misericordia, is an extra attack at the end of the combat phase, isn't it? They basically attack one more time with this thing. That's isn't it a relic? Isn't it some sort of ritualistic dagger that they get given when they finally become Adeptus Custodes?
yeah, bang on. That's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
They once they become a full custodian,
Yes.
after being an aspirant, they get given this dagger.
Nice.
And there's a weird sort of sub brotherhood within the Custodes that hold this sort of slightly odd view that if they kill enough traitors with the things,
Yes.
it will somehow restore the Emperor slightly.
Nice.
So
I like
as you can see.
I like the conversion on that one. That's cool. Sorry.
It's all right.
Interrupted your flow.
Yeah, no, that's why I've insisted on giving them all to them. I mean, it's a good upgrade anyway.
Yeah.
But weirdly enough, I discovered that in a 2,500 point game, giving everybody the daggers actually takes up quite a lot of points. It's 4 points each. So
Right, okay.
so everyone's got them except for the guys with the shields because they can't use them if you're using a shield.
Yes.
So the Terminators have got them.
Right.
The Captains have got them except for the 2 shield ones.
Right.
And the Bikers have got them as well.
So some Terminators. So all Custodes are toughness 5 with 3 wounds, top save, 4 up and Vun. These guys have got 4 wounds, the Terminators, and they can teleport in. Mind you, there's a stratagem that allows you to teleport in as well with Custodes. These guys have got 4 wounds and they got to toughness 6 because there's bikes. I have to say that you only bring in 3 bikes I consider a friendly thing as well, because Adeptus Custodes bikes are the unit, aren't they?
Yeah.
And you've only brought 3 along with you. Thank you very much.
Well, I won't pretend it was too much out of good sportsmanship. It's mostly because I hate the stands.
Yeah.
They're so difficult to build.
Yes.
I built these 3 and I just decided, unless I absolutely have to, never again, please.
Yeah. Okay. But talking about really hard hitting stuff, who's this guy?
This is Ancient Festus.
Right.
He is or alternatively referred to as Old Man Festus, or just the Old Man.
Right.
He's a veteran of the Unification Wars on Terra. He's a veteran of the Horus Heresy, the War on the Webway, where he was eventually almost killed.
Yes.
And interred in this sort of sarcophagus here. And he's a Telemon Heavy Dreadnought. And these guys are extremely powerful, extremely rare. In fact, we're using the beta rules for this guy. I mean, if you're watching this a bit later on and the Forge World book for these guys has come out and some of his rules and points values have changed, that'll be why it's different here. But it specifically states in his rules you may only have 1 of these in your army. You can't take 2, even if you want to.
Yep. He's basically as costly as a venerable land raider.
Yep.
And visit www.forgeworld.com to find out the rules and get the model for this guy. You were telling me that his power fist is strength 18.
Yes.
I find that hilarious.
He's strength 9 base, but the power fist thing he's got is strength times 2, so he goes up to strength 18. So if that weren't enough, it has a special rule for it that allows him to reroll 1s to wound.
Nice. So he hits harder than an Imperial Knight. And he should if he's been walking the battle grids of the Imperium for 10,000 years. And he's got lots of guns and a 4-up invulnerable save and ignores wounds on 6s. How many wounds has he got normally?
15.
15, so he will degrade. But he's an absolute beast. I think I'm going to stay away from him. And then we've got 2 of the shield banner guys. What are they called? The shield guys?
Vexillus Praetors, I think specifically, but the banners themselves are called Vexillus.
Yes.
I've got 2.
Yes.
The first one on the left is the one that. Right, here's the thing. They've got names, but they're backwards depending on which bit of the codex you read it in.
Right.
So that was a fantastic bit of proofreading by GW. But,
yeah.
I think this one is called the Vexilla Imperius on the left.
Right.
And that's the one that it shoots out blinding light, which scorches the enemy's retinas and scrambles their gun sights and targeting systems. And basically it grants everything within 12 inches of it -1 when to be shot at.
From golden light they come. 12-inch bubble. So 24 inches all the way around. Is going to be -1 to hit any Custodes. I like
including the gigantic dreadnought.
Including the gigantic. I like it. Yeah, it's absolutely blinding whiteness, and in a low model count army, having something that helps you -1 to hit, I think it is the one to take. Stunning. I like it. Very narrative. And then the Alaris Custodes. What one's he got?
He's got I think it's called the Vexilla Magnifica.
Right.
Assuming, like I said, that's not the other way around.
Yes.
This one basically just gives everything within 12 inches that, as long as it's infantry or I think the jet bikes,
right?
So not the dreadnought in this case. Yes. That would be hilarious if it was, but it gives them all +1 attack in close combat.
+1 attack.
Which stacks with the daggers they've got as well. So these guys, for example, they have 4 attacks base.
Terminators.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you get 5 attacks with that nearby.
Yeah.
And then make a 6th attack each with the dagger.
Right.
So
hitting on 2s, and with a shield captain nearby, re-rolling hit rolls of 1. So basically getting close to Adeptus Custodes, it's a bit like walking into a blender. It's just going to get worse the closer you get. I like it. It's very narrative. I like the daggers. I like the new Forge World dude. Thank you for bringing him along. I like the fact that you haven't brought loads and loads of bikes. There's plenty of line of sight blocking terrain on the table for you to get closer and stratagems for you to burn. This game is going to be brutal. I've got no idea how it's going to go. How so far? How have you found Adeptus Custodes on the battle grid?
They constantly subvert your expectations. You go into a game with them and you assume they're going to lose based on the lineup, and then it turns out they don't. They either win or they come very close to winning.
Okay.
And then sometimes you go into it thinking, they'll be great, they'll be fine.
Yes.
They've got this in the bag, and actually they get their asses handed to them. So.
Yes. Apparently they've been doing quite well at the tournament scene as well.
I don't keep up with the tournament stuff. But,
shield captains and bikes are a thing, apparently.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Right. Okay, so that's it for the armies. Let's get on to deployment. Relics. We didn't talk about relics. What relic you got?
I've got the Eagle's Eye.
Yes.
It's the special helmet. I know he doesn't have a helmet.
Right.
So I like giving my guys faces. But that gives him a 3-up invuln.
Okay.
This one here, because otherwise he'd have a 4-up and everyone else would have a 3-up and he'd be a bit left out.
So all your shield captains got a 3-up invul. Nice. And you said you were spending something on something else?
Command points, yes. 2 command points on each of these guys to give them what's called Victor of the Blood Games. It's a Custodes stratagem you can use before the game starts.
Yes.
And it basically allows each of them to re-roll 1 failed hit, failed wound, and failed save roll per turn.
Nice.
So
and
effectively,
put save as well.
Yeah.
I like that.
The save is the reason you
can
take
you do
it, really.
one? Is it one or the other, or one of each?
One of each.
Nice.
So it's really good.
Yes, it's really, really good.
It effectively allows you to, by using another command point, you can re-roll 2 of their failed saves each turn.
Oh, okay, yeah, of course, yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, we're deployed for this 2,500 point game of Cleanse and Capture. These clean streets of Badminton 9 are going to run red with blood, or maybe green with pus. As you can see, the Golden Host themselves have deployed in a tight little castle up in their deployment zone. You have to be more than 9 inches away from the centre of the board for the search and destroy. There's an objective up here, and one over there, very close to their lines, and they've kept the unit of bikes in reserve, the Terminators in reserve, the the dude with the big thing. The other guy who's got one of these banners, but he's in Vexilla, who's in Terminator armor, and one of the shield captains is also in reserve as well, teleporting in. Command point spent there. You can teleport in the bikes. It's a 1 command point stratagem to teleport stuff in. Technically, you could teleport in the great big dreadnought as well, but they are here and they are about to wreck face. So because there's some stuff deep striking in, I had to think about deep strike denial, which is why this unit of Plague Marines are back here. So essentially Sorcerer Dave already forcing my hand. If I didn't put a unit of Plague Marines back here, there could be some bikes teleporting in here and then wrecking the shooty things in the backfield and getting into Mortarian in turn 1. So we could not have that. I put one tank up front. I thought about putting another tank up there for overlapping fields of fire through these gaps, but it was a bit too close. I'd rather this one has one more turn to shoot in after the first one gets wrecked. Thank you very much. And Mortarian staying back there with the 2 tanks. He's a canny war leader. He's brutal and cunning. 1 minute, different army. But he's brutal and cunning, and he's staying back there ready to advance where possible, when he needs to. He can let them come. Essentially, I need a turn or 2, probably a turn of shooting, before I get smushed. In here, 7 Plague Marines, the Tallyman and the Priest. In that one, 7 Plague Marines, the Biologist Purifier, and the other elite character, and a unit of Plague Marines stat up on here on this objective. Now, curiously enough, because I put 3 units in that Rhino, the Plague Marines and 2 elites, and 3 units in that Rhino, the Plague Marines and 1 elite and my HQ, I actually beat Sorcerer Dave to the drop by one dude. So we're going to roll off to see who goes first. And you get a +1 to the die roll. I don't get a +1. I really rarely go first. And it would be nice to shoot you a little bit. So let's roll up. Can you beat a 2? Which is a 3.
You would think so, but...
You'd think so. 5. You definitely are going first unless I can seize the initiative.
That's banned. Custodes don't allow that sort of thing.
Well, we're going to try anyway. No, it's banned. Custodes don't allow that sort of thing. Let's go on to Custodes. Turn 1. Here are the orders for the Custodes, and they mean to take ground in this sector of Babington 9. They want to secure Objective 1, defend 4, and area denial, make sure that there are no enemy units within 6 or 12 inches of the centre. Here we are after the movement phase, and the Custodes basically advance. They come running up the street. Now, everyone is within 6 inches of the Vexilla there. It's not 12, it's 6. And so long as a unit is within 6 inches of that Vexilla, it's going to be -1 to hit them in the shooting phase, and it applies to the Dreadnought, the nasty Dreadnought as well. Now, there are no enemy units within 6 inches of the centre, so there's a point. And there's Objective 1, the mission critical objective that Trajan said. Is it Trajan? I'm
going to say Trajan and then be told it's wrong in the comments, I'm sure.
Yeah. Let's say Trajan. He said, secure this one on your way through. Make sure that there are no enemies coming up behind us. So there's 2 guaranteed points for the Golden Host as they come running forward. Now, the only thing that can shoot will be the big Dreadnought. Of course, there's no deep striking in turn 1 outside deployment zone. As per the FAQ beta rules, we're sticking to that for now until they change. Otherwise, people tend to go nuts when you don't follow it. So let's stick with the beta rules. And I think you said you don't really want to come jumping in anyway.
No, I'm keeping them in reserve at the minute as a sort of counter swing for whatever happens next. And I don't necessarily want to just sort of blow them already right at the start. I have done that before in previous games with these guys, and sometimes it's a mistake.
And there's not going to be a lot shooting at you in turn 1 anyway, because line of sight on this table is severely restricted as gunfire echoes down and through the streets. So let's go on to the shooting phase, and let's open up with this big, nasty, venerable Dreadnought. Dreadnought Telemon is opening up. It's got a flamer plasma thing in its fist, which is out of range. Bolt launcher on the shoulders there is firing in at these Plague Marines in my deployment zone. And the big gun, what's the big gun called?
I'm reading the rules right now, and it's called an Iliastus Accelerator Culverin. It's a big plasma thing. A big plasma thing
is firing up, and it can hit Mortarian. So the big gun coming in at the Demon Primarch. 6 shots hitting on dues. And they all hit. And its strength?
8.
8. Toughness 7 on Mortarian.
So 3's rerolling 1s because of Trajan.
Okay. There's 2 2s, unfortunately. So 4 get through, minus a lot, right?
-3.
-3. So Morty has a 4-up and vulnerable save. And I make 2 of them, fail 2 of them. How much damage does it do?
D3.
D3 each time. 6 shots. D3 each time. That's nice. That's 5 wounds. So I have 5 up disgustingly resilience to make on Mortarian. He makes 4 of them. Jammy. He only takes a wound. Right, now the bolt launcher on top coming in at these Plague Marines. It's a heavy gun. The other one was a heavy gun as well, but we'll catch it next time. So he moves, so it's hitting on 3s instead of 2s. 5 shots coming in. And if you stand still, we can fire this gun twice, right?
Yep.
I like it. Okay, so 5 shots, hitting on 3s, re-rolling the 1s because of the aura. Nice. And it's strength 5.
Yep.
And I'm toughness 5 on Plague Marines. So 2 wounds come through. -2 AP, which puts my 3 up down to a 5 up, but I am in cover, so it's a 4 up. And I failed them both. It only does 1 damage each. So 2 disgustingly resilience, which I pass. 1 of them fail 1, so 1 Plague Marine falls. And that's the end of the shooting phase. Disappointing start for the Golden Host, just killing 1 Plague Marine and taking a wound off Mortarian. Mind you, half of their force are off the table. The other half running up the table anyway. They do get 2 objectives, 1 for area denial and 1 for controlling objective 1 in the backfield. And they're getting closer. Oh my. So let's go on to Death Guard. Turn 1. Here are the orders for the Death Guard, and they want to take this battle grid as well. Mortarian orders them to hold the line and score objectives 3 and 1, and 6, 3 and 6. Here we are after the movement phase for the end of all things, and that took a long time. I am holding the line, so there's a point. I am scoring objective 6, so there's a point. And I have got my mission critical objective, objective 3, which is a point as well. I moved this tank round because he couldn't see very much and spent a command point on blasphemous machines, which means he can move and still fire his heavy weapons without modifiers. And the Tallyman will get me that stratagem back on a 7. Nope, that's no 7, so I don't farm that stratagem. But it does open line of sights through to the Telemann Dreadnought there. As you can see, the unit of Plague Marines that were inside the Rhino jumped out, moved forward. We've got the guy with the Blight Racks, we've got the guy with the Plague Spewer, the 2 elites with them ready to throw down a grenade storm down into the Death Guard. Not Death Guard. The Golden Guys. Sorry, I called your guys Death Guard.
How dare you? Well, they're more offended than I am.
Dare you? And the Rhino busting forward to take objective 3 there. So, yes, they're going to die a horrible death, but maybe I might be able to explode a few Custodes before I do so. Then the other Rhino, Tallyman jumped out, Priest jumped out, Priest, Sorcerer, Malignant Plague Caster, and the unit inside got out and came this way, and they stayed back. They didn't decide to get out and go forward. 24-inch range on Blight Launchers. I want to throw some Blight Launchers in, and if I got closer, I would be in a world of trouble. So pulling back with these guys. Rhino moving over as well, pushing that Deep Strike aura back. So there shouldn't be any places to deep strike in my lines for the Golden Light dudes. When they come from Golden Light, they'll be on the edges of the battle grid. Both of my Brothers Grimm, both of the Laws of Contagion are still in reserve. They're teleportarium humming away. But essentially a shift from the left to the right so I can get in range and put some firepower into the Custodes before they come rampaging in and do what Custodes do. Opening up the psychic phase, Mortarian's too far away for smiting, but I'm going to put Miasma of Pestilence on him. It's any Death Guard unit, and it'd be -1 to hit him. And that's a perils. So that's a fail, so let's spend a command point so at least I don't hurt myself. And that's a pass, actually. That's a 6. Right, that goes off. Spent a command point, need to roll a 7 for the Tallyman, and that's an 8, so I don't get it back. But at least it's -1 to hit Mortarian. And then I'm going to put Putrescent Vitality, which is +1 strength and toughness, but you can only do it on an infantry model, so I can't do it on Mortarian. The Miasma of Pestilence you can do on him, any Death Guard unit. But let's get these guys up to a +1 strength and toughness, because let's face it, they're in for a world of pain next turn. Let's at least give them a bit of a fighting chance. This is a warp charge value of 6, and that passes. So they're up to strength 5, toughness 6 now. And then the last thing left to do is my Malignant Plague Caster is going to cast Smite. He's got the Pandemic Staff, so he gets +1 to this dice roll. And that's a 9, 8, 9. That's a 9. So that's going to go in and do D3 mortal wounds at the closest. However.
I have a stratagem.
Yes.
It's called Spark of Divinity.
Nice.
Custodes, because we don't mess around with psychic nonsense at all.
Yes.
We get to deny it instead.
You...
For 1 command point, I can make any of my infantry units here, I think. It's just infantry.
Okay.
Deny the witch as if they were a psyker.
You're going to need a 10, because it was +1 to that dice roll. I rolled an 8, +1 is a 9, and then deny always beat it. So you sure you want to spend the command point to get hashtag don't listen to witness?
I've got 4 left. And there's so many other fun stratagems.
I know.
No, you know what, I'm not going to. After all that fanfare, I'm not going to.
No. Okay, D3 mortal wounds is 2, and we need to roll up to find out what unit is closest to the malignant paycaster. Malignant blah blah. I keep stuttering over that word. It's going to hit the venerable Telemon Dreadnought. He can ignore wounds on 6s. And he doesn't ignore those wounds. He takes 2 wounds. How many did you start off on with originally? 15, did you say?
15, yeah.
Okay, down to 13 left. Right, let's shoot some guns. Right, opening up the shooting phase with a grenade storm. Veterans of the Long War on these guys. Do I get it back? No. And another stratagem to do with grenades. Do I get that back? No. The Talaman is counting away, but not getting me any of these stratagems back so far. Right, this is called Blight Bombardment. So anyone, instead of chucking 1 grenade, everyone in their squad can chuck all of their grenades. And because I'm in range of this dude, the strength goes up by 1. So it's strength 4 grenades instead of strength 3 grenades. I'm still going to be wounding you on 5s though. Because strength 4 versus toughness 5. But with Veterans of the Long War, it's going to be +1 to their roll. Now, all of these guys with Blight Bombardment, instead of chucking 1 grenade in the shooting phase, they're all chucking their grenades in the shooting phase. And Blight grenades are D6 shots each, hitting that closest unit of Custodes first. This is the number of shots. It's 21 shots, -1 to hit because of the Vexilla that dude is holding. So 4s to hit instead of 3s.
Please whiff.
I think I whiffed. Right, strength 4 versus toughness 5, but because of him, any 6s to wound do mortal wounds in addition to the normal wounds. And it's +1 to wound. So any 5s and 6s will do mortal wounds in addition to the normal wounds because of Veterans of the Long War. So looking for those 5s and 6s, and that's really bad. It's 1 wound. 1 wound, Sorcerer Dave. So you get 1 2-up save and a 6 and a mortal wound in addition. So 2-up save.
Phew.
Which you pass. You, after all of that, Custodes take a wound. Right, now the Biologist Purifier is going to chuck a Hyper Blight grenade, but he's going to grab one from the foul Blight Spawn here, which means it's a grenade 2d6 instead of 1d6, hitting the normal. This is the number of shots hitting the same target, so that's 10 grenades explode. And this guy can only give out that grenade to a unit within 3 inches once per battle, so this is only going to happen once, hitting on 4s. Doing it now because I think they're going to be dead soon. 5 hits, so that's perfectly statistically average. It's strength 4 versus toughness 5, but this as well, because it's a Hyper Blight grenade, does an additional mortal wound on a roll of a 6. So I'm looking for 6s. Don't get any 6s. 2 wounds, 2 2-up saves on the same unit. And no wounds done. Now the foul Blight Spawn is going to spray his Plague Sprayer in there. It's an Assault D6 auto hit, but you've got to roll the strength every time. So it's a strength 10. The Plague Sprayer hits automatically 4 times. At strength 10, it will wound on 2s. And that's 3 wounds, and it's -3 AP and 3 damage every time. So you've got to make 3 3-up invulnerable saves, or he melts you with Nurgle's goodness.
Ban this sick filth.
Ban it.
That's what I have to say. Said the Custodes player, right?
Yeah. 3 4-up and buns.
Right. Ooh, actually.
What? What are we thinking?
Can I take it on the shield?
Of course you can.
By any chance? So,
yeah, one at a time. Well, when did you put your first wound marker? Because you have to take it on a model that's already wounded.
Yeah, I put it on a shield.
Nice. So. Okay, so 3-up and bun, 3-up and bun, 3-up and bun.
Ooh.
Pass. Tension. Pass.
Yes. No.
No. Unless you want to command point it. Because it will kill him. But there's a lot more shooting coming your way. Hashtag don't listen to winners. And then I put the camera down. Then you decided to do a command point reroll and rolled a 1. which always happens. Ones become ones. So I have killed a Custodes. Yay. Then the 2 rhinos opened up with their bolters doing no damage. Now we're round here to this squad here, and because of 18-inch rapid fire, inexorable advance with Death Guard, I am in rapid fire range of one of the Custodes down there with 2 of these guys. One of them isn't. It's -1 to hit. So I'm definitely not, despite the baiting.
Go on.
I'm not overcharging because it would just hurt me.
Chaos. You can't turn it off, the overcharge. It's broken. It's been like that for 10,000 years. You can't.
They pulled the guns out and banged them repeatedly on the side of this thing, so to shake out the excess plasma. 2 of them overcharging. Sergeant not overcharging. 2 of them not overcharging. 2 of them in rapid fire range. The sergeant's got a plasma as well, hitting that squad there. 4s to hit. See, that would have killed one. Only 2 hits. That -1 to hit coming in really handy. Strength 7, toughness 5, 3s to wound. 1 wound. That minus a lot on that squad. Is there a shield left in that squad or not?
There is at the back there.
There is, okay. 3 open button. And I don't know what that is.
That's a 1. That is a 1.
That's unfortunate. And then 3 bolt guns, 4s, 1 hit. I need a 5, strength 4, toughness 5, doesn't wound. So 1 more takes a wound. Right, let's drop this big thing down. This giant dreadnought is a new model, is it?
Yep. New model syndrome is in effect.
Okay, so that means he's definitely going to die. Let's chuck the heavy guns from the Plague Burst Crawler onto the dreadnought and the heavy slugger into those guys there. The slugger, it hits on 4s. Remember, it would be hitting on 5s because I moved, but I spent that stratagem, so back to 4s. I'm re-rolling hit rolls of 1 as well, within 7 inches of Morty. So 5s to hit, actually, because of your -1 to hit. So 1 hit with a slugger, strength 5, toughness 5. That's a wound at -1 on the Custodes next to the dreadnought. So you need a 4. Take another wound. Brilliant. And then the entropy cannons into the big nasty dreadnought. So 5s to hit, because you're -1 to hit with the 2 entropy cannons. 1 hits. Strength 8. Toughness of that big bad boy.
8.
8. I need a force to wound. That's a wound, sir. It's minus a lot. But you have a 4 up and bun, right?
Yep.
Okay, 4 up and bun.
Nope.
Your dice roll has
Lots
been atrocious.
of 2s
This
today.
is going to be D6 damage. You've already done a command point reroll as well. So D6 damage. 1. And I'm going to command point that. I haven't done a command point reroll in the shooting phase. 5. See, that works. Do I get that back on a 7, Tallyman? No, I don't.
I got 5, 6 up, feel no pain.
Oh yeah, 6 up, feel no pains. And not a sausage. Then the Plague Burst Mortar fires up and over. Number of shots is 5 shots. D6 shots every time. He will hit on 5s because you're -1 to hit and reroll 1s because of Morty, but I do get 3 hits. This is Strength 8 versus Toughness 8. And he's an Arch Contaminator, and this is a Plague Weapon. What that means is I'll have reroll to wound. So Strength 8 versus Toughness 8 is 4s. And rerolling because of the Warlord trait is 2 wounds at -2 D3 damage on your Dreadnought. So 2 more 4 up and vulnerable saves, sir. And you fail them again.
No.
This is not good. 2d3 damage for 5 damage. 5, 6 up, ignore damage. New model syndrome coming into effect here. Not a sausage again. So only got 3 wounds left. So he's been knocked down a couple of brackets, which leaves me with some interesting choices. With this Plague Burst Mortar here, the only guns that can fire is the mortar on top, which can fire indirectly. Now, do I fire up and over at the Dreadnought and try and kill it? Or do I put wounds into the Custodians next to you? I'm going to be hitting on 5s no matter what. I don't know what to do. Whether to hit the squad that's been injured already or him. So I'm going to let the dice gods decide. 1, 2, 3, it'll be the squad. Nope, it's going on the Dreadnought. So this is number of shots versus the Dreadnought, and I wish I'd have kept that 6 in my hand. Oh yeah, 5 shots, that's okay. I'm hitting on 5s. The tank didn't move, but it's -1 to hit you. And 1 hit. I'm wounding Strength 8 versus Toughness 8. No re-rolls here. I'm too far away from Mortarian. And that is a wound. I just need you to fail 1 invulnerable save. 1 more, sir. You've been so generous by failing so far.
Law of averages, right? Sure. Yeah. In theory, this should pass,
right? Definitely going to pass.
In theory. Well, it's gone inside a building.
No,
let's try this again. No!
No! No! D3 mortal wounds.
Don't do it.
1.
Oof.
You ignore that on a 6.
Oh yeah, that's true.
No, you don't ignore that. He's down to 2 wounds left. Down to 2 wounds left. Onto this unit of Plague Marines here, firing at that squad there. The bolt gun didn't do anything. The sergeant's got a plasma, which hits and wounds, and you have a 4-up or a 3-up in bun on this squad of Custodes, sir?
3-up, yes.
Yes.
Again.
That passes. I can see a 6.
Oh, there
it's
you go.
definitely a 6. And then the blight launchers will fire in. 4s to hit with the blight launchers. 3 hits. Their strength 6, your toughness 5. So these will wound on 3s. They're plague weapons, so I get to re-roll that 1. So that's 3 wounds at -2. Is it on a shield guy or on a normal guy?
It's on a shield.
Shield guy. So
Yeah.
3 up and vulnerable saves. Fail. Pass. Pass.
Okay.
Blight launchers do D3 damage, I'm afraid. And that's 3 damage and kills your shield. Oh no. Now your saving has been atrocious, but I've only killed 2 of the Custodian Guards, so they're still very strong. Then this squad of Plague Marines fired in at them as well, didn't do anything, and the only thing left to fire is these 2 blight launchers. Fetid bloat drones with assault blight launchers, heavy blight launchers. And again, the same... Now I am within range, 7-inch range of Mortarian, so I think I'm going to have a go at that Dreadnought. Shoot what you can kill is normally my motto. I should throw it down on some Custodes. That Dreadnought is... I had to think about it. The first one, 36-inch range, is going to hit these Custodians here because they don't have a Storm Shield in amongst them. It's an Assault 6 weapon, so I can move and fire it. But I'm hitting on 5s because you're in range of the Vexilla, or whatever it is. So 5s to hit, and I'm re-rolling 1s because I am within 7-inch range of Mortarian, and I hit 3 times. Right, this is Strength 6 versus Toughness 5, so I'm wounding on 3s, and I'm re-rolling to wound because of the Arch-Contaminer Warlord trait. So 3 wounds in at these Custodes, -2 AP, sir. So 4-up and vulnerable save, 3 times. And did you pass one?
Not a single one.
Sausage. So the first one does D3 damage and takes 2 wounds off of one of them. They're 3 wounds each, right?
Yep.
The second roll will kill 1 because it does a minimum D3. And then the last one, D3. For 3. Kills that squad, and that's first blood. So the second bloke drone will try and fire at the Dreadnought because that was very successful and I can't see the Custodes tucked in there. So 4s to hit, 5s to hit because of the -1, re-rolling 1s. 3 hits come through. Strength 6 versus toughness higher than 6, so 5s. And I get 3 6s. I get 3 6s. 3 4-up invulnerable saves on your Dreadnought.
Right.
I saw your soul just crack a little bit there.
It did. The Emperor is shedding a few tears right now on his golden throne.
I will make you a cup of tea afterwards, honestly. So 3 4-up invulnerable saves on your big new Dreadnought. Thanks for bringing it, by the way. 4-up in buds. You didn't make any.
He's not made a single one this entire game, has he?
He hasn't
he's failed
made
everything.
a save. New model syndrome kicking in here. D3 damage, and that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You need to make 7 6-up ignore armor damage rolls to keep him alive. He's got 2 left.
This surely
You can
is
roll
where
6
my luck
sixes.
turns.
It's got to happen.
I deserve this. Okay.
I believe it.
Okay, dice gods, let's do this.
No, he's dead.
No.
Now you're going to roll a 6 to blow up. No, he doesn't blow up.
If I roll a 6 then,
Rage quit and flip the table, yeah. That is the end of the shooting phase for the end of all things. How many points was that Dreadnought?
400 or so.
400. I feel bad. But that was bad at the start with the grenades coming in and everything. Now you know what they can do with that blight grenade stratagem where they all throw them. You know that unit needs to die utterly. And I would do that. That'd make you feel better. They can go in, choppy chop, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't seen the last of Old Festus, I think.
No.
The war on the webway didn't quite manage to kill him, so I don't think this will.
No, I don't think. He's just been melted a little bit and seized up, and they will come and evac him after this. But I have got that objective there, objective 3. I am holding the line, and I do get objective 6, and I did get first blood, interestingly enough. So it is 4 points to the end of all things, 2 points to the Adeptus Custodes. But they've got some reserves coming in, and they have yet to get their blades wet. That's where they excel. So let's go on to Custodes, turn 2. Here are the orders for the Custodes. They need to assassinate, kill a character, secure objective 2, and deliver victory. There's plenty of characters to choose from. Objective 2 is out on the wing somewhere. Deliver a victory. Score 1 victory point at the end of your turn if you score at least 1 victory point from another tactical objective this turn. Basically, so long as he scores one of these, he'll get another point. Here we are after the movement phase for the Golden Host. Now here's objective 2, so they've stayed well away from that. But assassinate, kill a character. And if you kill 3 characters, that's D3 points. So there's a character here, a character there, and a Plague Marine screen in front. And lots of Custodes about to run through the gap there. And the Terminator that Deep struck in is back there. He had to stay 9 inches away from the 2 Rhinos. And that's a +1 to all the attacks. And here's a third character. This Malignant Playcaster kills all 3 of these characters. That's D3 points for Assassinate. Now these guys have teleported in within 3 inches of just outside 3 inches of an enemy model using a 3-point stratagem called Vexilla Teleport Homer. So long as they land wholly within 6 inches of that Vexilla and more than 3 inches away from enemy units, which they have done, they can land. So from Golden Light they come. Now typically that would be a 7-inch charge to get up a level, but they have the fly keyword. So that's a 4-inch charge in on that Malignant Playcaster. So I think he's almost certainly dead. Unless you roll a Snake Eyes. And your dice roll has been appalling, so that might happen. But going in against this character, going in against those characters, starting to cut through the command structure of the End of All Things, and then have significant presence in the middle of the board. And there's a lot of shield captains over there. And the other unit of us, Alaris Custodes Terminators, have teleported in this way, ready to rampage into the deployment zone of the Death Guard and start causing damage. And there's another shield captain.
Yep.
Another shield captain. He's in Terminator armor back there as well. That, of course, would be a 9-inch charge to get in there. So lots of pressure on the right and central flank as well. Yes.
We've got the other Vexilla. This
Yes.
is the guy who gives the +1 attack to everybody within 6 inches of him.
So,
Now,
yes.
the original plan was for him to come in with the rest of the Terminators. However, I've decided in this turn they need all the help they can get deleting these Plague Marines who are now toughness 6 thanks to psychic nonsense.
Psychic nonsense. We like our psychic nonsense. So some pressure in the middle. Let's move on to the shooting phase. Opening up the shooting phase down here, the Terminators that just appeared are firing their grenade launchers in this squad of Plague Marines. We're going to do the captain at the same time because it's all the same hits and wounds. It's 12-inch range and you get D3 shots for every single gun. So let's see how many shots we get in. 11 grenades come pumping out of their gauntlets, hitting on 2s.
Rerolling 1s.
So with the reroll, everything hits. Strength 4 versus toughness 5. 5's to wound. 4 wounds get through and -3, so I need 6s. I get 2 6s. And it's 1 damage each, so 2 disgustingly resilience. And I make 1 of them, so only 1 Plague Marine falls. So it looks like this, and then we've got rapid firing Guardian axes coming in.
Yes,
So
Castellan axes.
Castellan axes.
I'm going
So
to ask you a question.
how many shots? 10 shots in total?
Yep, 10 in total.
Let's do it all together. Hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s because of the shield captain. And rolling to hit. Everything hit with a re-roll, so 5's to wound. 3 get through, -1, so 4 ups. I make 1 and 2 disgustingly resilience. And he killed 2 more Plague Marines. That was better. So 4 Plague Marines left standing. Now we're going over here. This unit of 3 are firing at the Plague Marine stood right in front of them. Firing the Guardian Spears first. 2s to hit. And re-rolling 1s because of Trojin who stood there. And these are strength 4 still, right?
Yep.
Versus toughness 6 now. So you need 5s and you can re-roll 1s. That's 1 wound. At -2 wounds?
Yep.
2
5
wounds.
to 6.
At minus what AP on the spears?
-1.
-1, so I need 4s. No, and how much damage?
Just 2.
Just 2 damage. 2 disgustingly resilience and 1 plague marine, and he's alive. It happened. And there's a sword in there as well.
Yeah.
And the sword, what does the sword do?
It's 2 shots.
Right.
Because it's pistol 2, range 12, so
Okay.
both hit.
Both hit, yeah.
Wounding on 5 and a 6. 1 wound, no AP.
No AP, so this will be a 3 up, which I pass. That squad don't do anything at all. On to the next squad. Are you rinsing and repeating, I guess?
Exactly.
So this squad is a squad of how many?
4.
4 there.
Yep, with the
Okay.
captain at the back there, so they're sort of snaking backwards.
Nice. What we firing first?
Spears.
Spears. Everything
All
hit.
hits.
5s again you need. And you can reroll those 1s.
Thanks to Trajan.
Trajan, that's his name. 1 wound. And this is -1. 4 up, which I pass. And then we've got the Guardian swords.
I think Sentinel blades.
Sentinel blades.
Gun swords will do.
Gun swords.
That's what they are.
Everything hits. 5s again you need. And
2 wounds.
2 wounds.
No
We're rolling
AP.
the 1 because of Trajan.
Yeah.
2 wounds, no AP, 3 up save, and I pass them as well. So the squads of custodian guards, wards, whoever they're called, they don't shoot the plague marines. But you got a lot of shield captains in there that you can shoot at the plague marines as well. And you really want
a
them.
ballistus grenade launcher on
You
this
really want
guy.
them dead so you can get through to the characters behind. That's the trick.
Yep.
What are we doing next, sir?
Let's do the grenade launcher on this axilla here.
Okay, this guy.
D3 shots.
For
Pulling that cocked or not?
roll again. I couldn't even see it with the camera.
Sorry.
1 shot.
Right, it's got the same result anyway.
Okay.
Okay, so 1 shot.
Yep, 2s, hits, and
Wounds on 5s. Fails.
fails. Now 2 shield captains firing in at the same time. We're doing it together with the sentinel blades and re-rolling that 1. Everything hits. 5s to wound. Re-rolling the 1s because of Trajan. And you got 1 wound, 3 up save, and I make that one again.
Of course you do.
And Trajan himself will fire with his Watcher's Axe, hitting on 2s. Both hit. Strength 4.
Strength 5.
Strength 5, but I'm toughness 6, so... Rerolling the 1, and it doesn't wound, and that one's... Now onto the jet bikes. There's a melter missile, the sky firing thing, is coming in on one of these fetid bloat drones. The hurricane bolt is hitting the plague marines. Now you moved because you've appeared there. It's a heavy weapon, so you're hitting on 3s, but it's +1 to hit flyers, and these have got flyers, so you're hitting on 2s.
Not with the melter missile.
Not with the melter missile.
Only with the flak missile. I'm using the melter, so it'll actually be
3s to hit.
3s to hit.
Yep.
Be rolling 1s.
Yep. And that's a hit.
I was prepared for the 2. It really was.
And it's strength what? Toughness?
Strength 8.
Okay, toughness 7. 3s to wound. And you don't wound.
Of course.
And the hurricane bolt was going in. Lots and lots of shots. Hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s. This is going to sting. Because they're rapid fire guns, they were firing twice and with a re-roll but 1 hit. Now strength 4, toughness 6, wounding on 5s. And you're going to get re-roll 1s to wound because of Trajan. And with the re-roll, 9 wounds get through. I need 9 3-up armour saves. And I fail 5. So 5 disgustingly resilient on these plague marines. And I fail all of them. They're
Finally!
Yeah.
Finally, I've wounded something!
The unit of 7 is whittled down to only 2 remaining. And it looks like this. I left the 2 blight launchers left for Overwatch. Now that was the end of the shooting phase. Now we're on to the charge phase. The Terminator's declared a charge against these plague marines here. And I managed to do 2 wounds with or 3 wounds with a blight launcher on Overwatch. Now Sorcerer Day needs to make a 9-inch charge. Good luck, sir.
I'm going to need it, apparently.
Yeah. And that's
There
a
we go.
6. Not sending the captain in there. Now there's going to be lots of units charging the Rhino, the Plague Marines, and these 2 characters in the middle. So this is going to be a mess of Overwatch. We'll do that in a second. And you need a 4-inch charge to get up to this Malignant Plaguecaster. So let's see if you can make this charge range.
Normally
Normally
should
4.
be able to do this, right?
Yes, yes.
Normally.
That's
Oh,
a
yeah,
5.
that's
You're definitely in there. Let's do a bit of Overwatch. And here we are after the charge phase. Now, 2 squads of custodians got into both of the characters at the back, and this Rhino and the Plague Marines there. Trajan has got in as well. The first squad were able to tie up the Foul Blightspawn and his Sprayer, his Flamer of Doom. There was some heart in mouth moments there because that weapon, it does do -3 AP and flat 3 damage a time. It will kill a Custodes. But finally, Sorcerer Dave making a couple of 4-up and vulnerable saves there and locking him down. So there's a big scrap in the middle. These Plague Marines are not going to last very long. The bikes have made it into this Malignant Playcaster here. So we're looking at 3 characters getting wiped out. Shame about the Terminators on the flank. But let's move on to the fight phase. Trajan Valorous, Captain General of the Custodes, is swinging first against those 2 remaining Plague Marines. He's sitting on 5s with his 5 attacks. Hitting on 2s with his 5 attacks. What am I talking about? And he's strength 10 with that axe, but I am toughness 6, so you need 3s to wound. And you're re-rolling 1s. 4 wounds get through. What's the AP on this?
This will be AP -3.
Is it? I need 6s. I make 2. So 2 go through. How much damage does it do each time?
D3.
D3 on the first guy. 1 disgustingly resilient. He's alive. D3 on the next guy. 2 disgustingly resilient. He kills 1 Plague Marine. Then he has his Misericordia.
Yep.
Which hits on a 2. And it's strength user, right?
Yep.
So you need a 5 now.
No.
No. So only 1 Plague Marine falls. Interesting. After the Lord Commander's attacks, this unit of Custodians pile into the Foul Blightspawn with his Plague Sprayer of Doom. Now all 4 of them can strike, and they're just within, after piling in, within 6 inches of this guy with the Vexilla. So they've all got +1 attack. So what are we doing first?
Spears first.
Spears first?
4 attacks each.
Nice. Hitting on 2s. And then re-rolling 1s because you're right next to the Lord Commander, shouting in his ear. They're all hitting. Strength 6, toughness 5, 4s to wound.
And re-rolling 1s because of Trajan.
Nice. This is where the Custodes excel. So that's 5 get through, and then minus what AP? -3 spears. So I need 6s. Now I don't make any of them, and each of them do, well, I make 1, and each of them do D3 damage each. So he's definitely dead. Okay, 1 character down. Now the next squad are putting all their attacks on the Biologist Purifier there, ignoring that Plague Marine, that 1 Plague Marine left, because basically he's dead anyway when it comes to the morale phase, unless I burn 2 command points, and I've only got 3 left. So the second squad wailing in. Looks like you've got 2 spears in there, sir.
Yep.
Not getting +1 for the attacks here. So this is 6 attacks in total, hitting on 3s. 2, sorry. Everything hits. And it's strength what?
Strength 6.
6 with spears. Toughness toughness 5, yeah. 4.
Yep.
4s to wound. 3s to wound.
3 to wound, yeah.
Re-rolling 1s because of Trajan.
I thought for a second he was the Plague Marines.
No, he's not.
There we go.
Okay, and 4 get through, and then -3 AP. So 4 6-ups. I make 1 D3 damage a time. So 3 D3 damage. And I've got a disgustingly resilient my way through that.
It's 7. That's
7.
your number.
Nurgle's number, I have 4 wounds. 7 disgustingly resilient. We didn't bother rolling that on the other one because
Now
he would have
that's
died.
what I call my dice rolling right there.
Yes,
That's
just like that. The other guy, it was definitely dead. We didn't even do the swords. So 2 characters fall. Now, interestingly enough, these guys blow up on a 4. All those blight racks detonate. And it goes boom. And it does 1 mortal wound to everything within 7 inches, except those with the Nurgle keyword. And when the dust settles, it looks like this. The Lord Commander took a wound. 1 guy in this squad took a wound. And in the other squad down there that actually killed the guy, well, one of them was down to 1 wound left. So one of them dies in that putrid detonation. The other guy's just out of range of taking 1 mortal wound. Now we're up here to the Malignant Playcaster versus 3 Dawn Eagle jet bikes. And I don't think he's going to last very long either. The jet bikes have 4 attacks each. So 12 attacks hitting on 2s. Then strength 6 versus toughness 5, so 3s to wound. And you get a reroll when they charge, right?
Yep.
Dawn Eagle jetbikes, nice.
Yeah.
This is gonna sting.
Big Lancer's coming at you very fast, so
Yeah.
there we go.
Can I touch your dice?
You
I've touched them
at
already.
your own peril, I suppose, at this point.
They're very sweaty. 6s. So I've got that many times D3 disgustingly resilient saves to make. Then the jet bikes consolidate towards the closest enemy unit, which happened to be the Rhino, which was good because it pulls them back away from Mortarian. And I think that's all the charging units, so my Plague Marine gets to strike back. One in this squad is injured, so I will hit him on a 3, and I will wound him on a 5. And that's a wound. You need a 2-up save, which you pass. The leadership's 7, I've lost 6 in that squad. I need a 1. No, 6 plus 2 is 8, so he flees. And then at the end of the turn, Sorcerer Dave has assassinated 3 characters for D3 victory points. Good luck, you need big money here. No, just 1. 1 for assassinate. You didn't get objective 2, but you had that other objective in your hand, which means as soon as you got a point, you get another point. So that's 2 points that you managed to score this turn. More importantly, both of the elites have fallen. A whole squad of Plague Marines has fallen. My Malignant Plaguecaster has fallen. I've got a morale test down here as well with these guys, I just realised. 6 plus the 3 I lost is 9. Their leadership 8. One more is going to flee. Leadership 8 with a sergeant. So I lose another guy there. So you are making some decent headway, some decent pressure into the Death Guard lines, but it is 4 points each as we go into Death Guard turn 2. As the Custodes advance, Mortarian orders his men to defend this battle grid, defend objective 1, defend objective 4, and Kingslayer take out the Captain General. Here we are after the Death Guard movement phase. One of the Brothers Grimm drops in to defend Objective 4 along with the Tallyman, because if the bikes jump up and over, they've got to get through both of them. And then the second of the Brothers Grimm has dropped in back there to defend Objective 1. Killing Valoris is going to be more difficult, but I've lined up quite a few shots. These Plague Marines can fire in. The tank can fire in. More importantly, Mortarian has now moved forward. 1 turn of shooting, and then it moved forward with some pressure, supporting these 2 blight drones now, fetid bloat drones. And remember, everyone within 7-inch range of Mortarian has -1 to their toughness. So these bikes have dropped down to toughness 5. All the other enemy units within 7-inch range of him down to toughness 4. This squad pushing up forward as well. Still making sure I'm within 7-inch range for his reroll hit rolls of 1 and rerolling wound rolls as well. So this could be a painful amount of firepower coming in here. I broke free with the Rhino from the unit that had engaged him in combat. We did hit back with the Rhino, didn't do anything. Tank revved its engines. But I pulled out, so more than an inch away from all the enemy units there. Because if these Plague Marines are successful in clearing those away, I want to start shooting at that second unit of Custodes as well. So let's go into the Psychic phase. Miasma of Pestilence on Mortarian, -1 to hit him. That passes on a 9, and then +1 toughness on a infantry unit. I'm going to do it on this unit of Plague Marines back here. I've pulled away from those Terminators. I could go charging after them, but they're Terminators. I need some troops in my back pocket. So let's get their toughness up to 6, and that passes as well. Right, now let's shoot some guns. So let's start having a go at these bikes. Yeah, bikes. Let's start shooting at the bikes. Plasma gun on the sergeant here, firing into the black bikes. I'm going to overcharge because I'm re-rolling hit rolls of 1 because I'm in range of Mortarian.
-1 from that.
-1 to what? So I'm not overcharging. 4s to hit. And he misses. And then there's the 2 blight launchers in these squads.
I shouldn't have said anything until afterwards.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. You're a friendly mushroom. 2 hits. Strength 6. Toughness 5 now on the bikes because of his special aura ability. And they both wound. They're -2 AP blight launchers and D3 damage each. So you've got 2 4-up invulnerable saves to make on your Dawn Eagle jet bikes there. And you failed both again.
True to form.
D3 and D3. That's only 3 damage. I think they have 4 wounds each, so 1 is still alive.
Yep.
Now Mortarian will fire the lantern. I'd like to fire at one of these units back here and draw a straight line through them. That's what you do with the lantern, but they're characters, so I can't fire at them. So the only thing that he can really fire at are the bikes right in front of him. So with this ancient plasma gun, he hits on a 2, which hits, and it's strength 8. And it wounds. You need a 4-up invulnerable save, or one of these bikes are going to die. And you fail, one of the bikes dies. Now, I don't think I'm going to fire any more shots at them because I think Mortarian would like to smack them with silence, his very big scythe. Instead, I will fire the Assault Heavy Blight Launcher down at these guys here. It's called a Heavy Blight Launcher, but it's an assault weapon. And they hit on 4s. And I'm re-rolling 1s because I'm in range of Mortarian. So only 2 hits. Strength 6 versus Toughness 4. And there's 2 wounds at -2, sir. And D3 damage a time. So 2 4-up saves on your Terminators. You're going to make a save at some point. You make one, fail 1. 1's on 1 wound left, that guy there, because of the Overwatch when he came charging in. So he's dead because it's D3. And now let's do it again with the second Fetid Bloat Drone. Only 1 hit. Let's re-roll these 3 1s. Okay, that converted to 3 hits. Thank you, Mortarian. And I need 3s. And I re-roll to wound because of Arch Contaminator. So 3 4-up and vulnerable saves on your Terminators. And 1 more fails, but 2 successes. Getting better. D3 damage on a Terminator for 1 damage on a Terminator. Next up, the Plague Marine stood next to them that have pulled back because they're cowards. They fired in at the Terminators, didn't do any damage to them. The Rhino fired into these bikes, didn't do any damage to them. So that's firepower from this side. Let's go around to the other side of the table and fire this unit down into these 2 remaining Custodes there. There are 3 plasma guns in this squad, all in rapid fire range. I'm not overcharging. 3s to hit, and it's going to be 3s to wound because they're nasty plasma guns. I need 2 wounds. 2 4-up and vulnerable saves on your Custodes. And make 1 fail 1. So 1 takes a wound, and then I'll fire the bolt guns in that are in rapid fire. 1 hit. Doesn't wound. They only take a wound. So let's fire everything from this Plague Burst Mortar into the Malrude.
Please no.
No, it's happening.
Please no.
4s to hit because I'm out of range of your banner thing. So 2 hits. Strength 5, Toughness 5. 1 wound at -1 AP on this Custodian.
3 up.
3 up. He passes it. 2 Entropy Cannons to the face. These Heat of 1,000 Suns that can melt through tanks, and both of them miss. He dodges right, he dodges left. D6 shots with a Plague Burst Mortar. 3 shots hitting on 4s. 2 hits and strength 8, so I need 3s to wound. 2 wounds at -2.
4 up.
And he failed both. It does D3 damage. So this guy's on 2 wounds left. The first shell kills him, and the second shell kills his friend, and they both fall. But so far I've only killed 2 Custodians and a Terminator and a bike, which is not good. So last up, this Plague Burst crawler can see this squad protecting Valorous there. So let's put rounds into him as well. Starting off with a Slugger, and it hits 3 times, wounding on 4s, and it wounds twice. -1 AP, 2 3-up saves. And he takes a wound. One of them takes a wound. Entropy Cannons, 1 hit this time. And wound, 1 4-up and vulnerable save because it's -4 AP.
Come on, law of averages, don't fail me now. We did it!
We did it!
We made a
Passed
save!
in a vulnerable save finally. Oh dear. D6 shots with the mortar, only 2. Hitting on 4s. 1 hit, strength 8. 1 wound, -2, so you need another 4-up and vulnerable save. No, and this does D3 damage. 1 damage. So in total, that tank only took 2 wounds off one of these Custodes.
Yep, and this guy had 2 left as it was.
Did he?
Goodbye.
Oh yeah, because of the explosion from the guy with all the blight racks. So killing.
Covered in pus already, and you just finished him off.
Nasty. Melted in an acid bath there. That's the end of my shooting phase. Now Mortarian, Primarch of the Death Guard, is going to charge. The Hurricane Bots fired in, managing to do 3 wounds. Let's see if I can save them on Overwatch. No, fails one of them, and disgustingly resilient. No. So clipping Mortarian as he comes in, taking another wound off of him. He's down to 16. How far does he charge? He charges 5 inches, which will be enough. Right, at the start of the fight phase, we have Host of Plagues, and enemy units within 7 inches of Mortarian can potentially suffer D3 mortal wounds. Because he's up here, it's only going to hit the bikes. We'll put him down here. which means it does look like he's in range of that, but he's not because he's really up there. You get what I mean? Wobbly Primarch syndrome. So Host of Plagues hits these bikes on a 4-up, and it doesn't work anyway. Now, Mortarian has 2 types of attacks profile, just like an Imperial Knight or something Titanic. He can either hit 6 times or hit 18 times. But I'm going to do the 6 times one because it does d6 damage a time. And these bikes have 4 wounds each. And he hits on 2s. And he rerolls 1s. And he's got Death to the False Emperor. So those 6s count as 2 extra attacks, which hit on 2s. So out of his 6 attacks, he hit 8 times. He's just mean. And his strength 8 gets up to ×2. So he's now strength 16. So he'll wound on 2s. And I don't know if it's a plague weapon. Is it a plague weapon? It is a plague weapon, so he rerolls to wound. That's just mean. That's 8 wounds, each of them at -4 AP and doing d6 damage a time. So you need 8 4-up and vulnerable saves. And the way you've been rolling, you're definitely going to make all of these. Have faith in the Emperor, brother.
Alright.
8 4-up and buttons.
Alright, E-Money. Help me out here, bud. Come on.
Come on, big guy. The big E.
No.
You make 1? Is it just 1?
I think it's just 1.
That's terrible. D6 damage. First bike's dead. And the second bike's dead. And I still had that many dice to roll. He's a beast. Rather, Mortarian is not a beast. Rather, your dice rolling has been atrocious for your saves. That's the end of Death Guard turn 2. I'm not going to consolidate in because there's a bunch of shield captains there who will definitely get the drop on me. I need you to come charging in towards my guns first. And at the end of turn 2 for the Death Guard, I actually score 0 points. I'm not killing the king. I'm not killing Valoris there. But I have started to defend that objective and defend this objective. So at the end of my turn, your turn 3, I will get an extra 4 points. 2 for defending this and 2 for defending that, which will get me to 8 points to 4 if I manage to defend them until the end of your turn. But for now, at the end of turn 2, it's 4 points each. Let's go on to Custodes, turn 3. Here are the orders for the Custodes. They want to secure Objective 1, which one of my Lords of Contagion, one of the Brothers Grimm, is currently defending. The Emperor's Vengeance. Score D3 points if you control an objective marker that was controlled by your opponent at the start of their turn. And all of the Custodes have objectives secured, so that should be relatively easy. And Supremacy, get any 3 objectives for D3 points. It's 4 points each. If I defend this one for 2 turns, and I'm going to get +2 points. Now if I defend that one for 2 turns, get +2 more points. However, the Custodes get a point for securing Objective 1, and they'll get D3 points for taking that objective off of me, because Custodes infantry have objective secured. They will always secure the objective unless there's a troops there. That Lord of Contagion is not a troop, so that objective is worth D3 +1 points, but we're going to have a fight between a shield captain and a Lord of Contagion.
As an aside,
yes.
something I didn't consider, but I am doing now. Aside from it being really cool that they're having a duel like that,
yes,
a little standoff like in a Western right now, but also this objective effectively represents the con tower.
Yes.
And if we can kill Mortarian,
yes,
we still want to let Fleet upstairs know that we want to get out of here. So I figure he's got to get, one of them at least, has got to go back and secure this con tower, which he's currently standing in front of the door of, grinning at us.
Yes.
So
comms are blocked up ahead. Signals being scrambled. The atmosphere is a mess of electrostatic wash. You need that satellite to signal the fleet up above. And you had a good discussion off camera. Basically, you don't really care much for the points apart from that. You just want to take out Mortarian. So Valoris has come through this gap here. He needs to charge up there. The unit of Custodes are behind him as well. You want to charge up and take on Mortarian, who we've managed to find a piece of scenery to prop up. Terrain piece up there, and the 2 Vexillas. They're called Vexillas, right?
Yep.
I've pushed forward to provide their bubble. I put the Rhino there on purpose, making it awkward for you to get round. And the Terminators, of course, with the last shield captain, are going to come flying in on the flank. You've got very few models left. But for pride, for the Emperor, you mean to take this Demon Primarch's head.
We're Custodes. We're meant to be surrounded, right?
Yeah, surrounded means you've got the enemy exactly where you want them to be. You're in a target-rich environment. So let's go on to the shooting phase. Here we are after the shooting phase, and everything that could reach out and touched Morty and took 1 wound off of him. Just 1. I think he's down to 14 left. This unit of Terminators unloaded into the 3 Plague Marines that were stood there and wiped them out. It means the charge to one of these drones is going to be 7 inches long, though. They're 8 away. And the other thing to fire was this unit of Custodes that fired up and into these Plague Marines up here. And because they're in cover, didn't do any damage. So 1 unit of Plague Marines wiped out, a wound off of Mortarian, and now we're into the charge phase. Terminators charging into the drone, that's a 10-inch charge. No damage done on Overwatch, they are in. Leaving space for the captain, and you rolled an 11. Suddenly getting some good dice rolling. Let's see if Mortarian can kill the Lord Commander with a Overwatch. No, and then we need to roll for your Valores Dracaris.
Oh, yeah.
That's an 11 as well. He's definitely in. With that 11, Valorous was able to get all the way up there. So now we're rolling 2d6 for the Custodes to see if they manage to get in to support him. Rolling up, sir. And
Wow.
that's a 12. Oh, you're saving all your big dice rolls for the charge just when you need it. Can the Custodes turn the tide?
Wish I could pretend it was on purpose.
Right, charging in with this captain. Let's see if he can get in. 9?
Yeah.
And because you need to get in base contact, the shield captain needed to get all the way around here and up there to get in contact with Morty, so that isn't happening. And then round here, don't roll a snake eyes on this guy, and you're good to go.
Said it now.
I've said it now, I've cursed it. No, it's a 9, you're in. We're going to have a fight down here as well. Then we came back round here because the Praetor of Exilla managed to get into combat as well, and we are at the start of the fight phase. So enemy units within 7 inches of Mortarian take wounds on a 4 up. So 4 up on the Terminators. They are going to take D3 mortal wounds, and that's 1 mortal wound. 1 was injured. He's down to 2 wounds left. This guy isn't wounded. The Custodes, they are going to take D3 mortal wounds. 1 is on 2 wounds. And he only drops 1 wound, so he's still alive. And now Valorous himself, will he get injured by the host of plagues? No. A miasma of filth and putrescence spills out from Mortarian, but the Custodes stand firm, and none of them falling. Some of them a bit injured, but none of them falling. Now we're going to go to this fight here. 5 attacks, hitting on 2s. And he's a shield captain, so he rerolls that 1. 5 hits, get through. He's got a sentinel blade. It's strength what?
Strength user, so
Okay.
strength 5.
Toughness 5. 4s to wound. 2 wounds get through. 2 4-up cataphracti and vulnerable saves. I failed them both. That is 2d3 damage. For 5 damage. Now, my Lord of Contagion will live. 5 up in vulnerable save, 5 up disgustingly resilient. He will live, but he takes 4 wounds. I think he's only got 2 left. Going from the fight next to the comms tower, coming to the fetid bloat drone, leaving the big fight till last. We've got 3 Terminators striking at this fetid bloat drone. We'll do the shield captain in a second. They hit on 2s with their axes, and they don't even need the reroll.
Whoa.
Axes are strength 8, toughness 7. These are wound on 3s, minus 2 AP, and D3 damage a time. 7 wounds get through, Nurgle's number. Minus 2 AP is 7 5 up in vulnerable saves. I fail every single one. So 7 times D3 damage, and that's not great. 12 disgustingly resilience, and I make 3. I think they have 10 wounds. So that drone is alive on 1 wound left. Mind you, you've still got your sergeant to swing in. Your sergeant? The shield captain, to swing
How
in.
dare you call me a sergeant?
So let's do his attacks. How many attacks does he have? 5?
He also has 5, yeah.
Nice, okay.
Oh, we've also got daggers as well.
Okay, so you will do your daggers.
So that'll be
Misericordia.
3.
Yep, 3
attacks.
hitting on
2s, re-rolling 1s.
2 hits. Wounding on 5s though, strength 5, toughness 7.
Nope.
Nothing. So the daggers didn't do anything, but your sergeant gets to swing. Sergeant, Captain, sorry. Sorry, Captain. Calling him a sergeant. 2s to hit. And they all, yeah, he knows what he's doing. 3s to wound, strength 8, toughness 7. 2, only 2 wounds get through. 2 5-up invulnerable saves. Failing all of my saves all of a sudden. The dice have turned. D3 damage each. For 3 damage, 3 disgustingly resilience, 1 wound left. He dies.
Yes.
Fetid bloat drones explode on a 4-up. Now this guy's got 1 wound left, and I've got 3 command points left, so I'm going to do something called putrid detonation, which means I can automatically choose to explode. And all enemy units within 7 inches of him, and friendly units, suffer a mortal wound. Yep, 1 command point. Do I get my command point back? No, I don't. Stupid tiny man. So he dies. Your shield captain will take a wound. He'll take a wound. This other bloat drone will take a wound. It's only 1 wound. Disgustingly resilient. Fails. This squad, disgustingly resilient. No, I kill 1 in that squad as well. And Mortarian himself will take a wound. Disgustingly resilient. He is disgusting and resilient.
We hit the big pus pinata.
Big pus pinata went pop.
Bang.
Yep. Then at the end of the combat, it looks like this. The shield captain consolidating towards Mortarian because he was the closest enemy unit. So that's nice. One of the fetid bloat drones has gone. We've done all of these. We're now on to this lot. So everyone fight Mortarian. Who is going to fight first? Right, starting off with a Vexilla. He's swinging in. 4 attacks, hitting on 2s. And re-rolling 1s. And we have 3 hits. 3 hits. 5s to wound. If we roll here, it's plenty. Stop knocking models over. And he does a wound. I need a 3-up save, which I pass. So that's the Vexilla done. Who else do you want to swing with now?
I'll do the guards.
I like the fact that you're leaving Valaris to last. So these guys have got +1 attack because they're in range of that Vexilla there. So was that 2 spears?
We've got 2 spears and 1 sword.
Okay, so the 2 spears, that'll be 8 attacks in total. Is this going to hurt?
Let's hope so.
2s to hit, sir. And re-rolling 1s. Everything hits. And Guardian Spears are +2 strength, right?
+1 strength.
+1 strength. So strength 6 versus toughness 7. This is the hard bit. 5s to wound. Ooh, there's a couple of wounds. That was good. That was 4 wounds. 4 4-up and vulnerable saves. And I failed 2 of them. So 2d3 damage. 4 damage. 4 disgustingly resilience. Or 4-up. Or 5-up. What am I talking about? So Mortarian takes 2 wounds so far. He's down to 13 left. And then the guy with the sword, the Sentinel Blade, he gets to swing in with 4 attacks because that unit is within 6 inches of the Vexilla. So 2s. Rerolling 1s. Valoris is screaming at him. 5s to wound. We have 2 more 6s there. So
and reroll the 1s because of Valoris.
Oh yes, of course.
So...
Did we get any 1s last time?
We got everything. I don't think we got 1s last time.
Okay, so 4 up and buns. I failed them all. 4d3 damage with your Sentinel Blade. He's on 12 left. You can't kill him.
If he survives this, he's getting a new name.
Is he? He's probably got 100 already, you know, these
That's true.
custodians. But yeah, add another name to his roll of honours. That looks like 7 to me.
7, yep. Oh, no, it was number.
7 disgustingly resilient. The number of times 7 has turned up this game, it's superstitiously scary. So 5 up, disgustingly resilient. And that was good.
That's superstitiously scary.
I made 3 of them. But that means Mortarian is down to 9 wounds left. And now Valoris can swing. Okay, Valoris striking with his 5 attacks. He hits on 2s. And he rerolls those 2 1s. And he hits with everything. Now he's strength 10 with his big special axe of doom. Toughness 7, 3s to wound. And he rerolls 1s to wound. There's a 1. And you only get 3
and
in. And
picture of the blood games, so
yes.
you can re-roll one of these.
Oh yeah. Okay, so 4 wounds get through. It's minus a lot AP. I need 4 4-up invulnerable saves to make. I fail to make 2 d3 damage, sir. Valoran. What is that one? That's a 2. So 4 in total. 4 and a 3 is 2. Disgustingly resilient. I make 2, fail 2. Mortarian's down to 7 wounds left. Now that's all the charging units. So now it's my turn to finally fight back. Now I'm aware Valoris has an ability which means he can pile in and fight again. So I think I need to smack him. So because Mortarian's injured, he's got 5 attacks instead of 6, and I'm going to put everything at the HQ of the Custodes for 2 reasons. 1, I've got Kingslayer in my hand, and 2, because it is cool, and 3, really, because he's going to swing and strike me back again, so I need to kill him.
We can take it.
Yeah.
Big stupid human fly.
2s to hit.
I've cursed myself now.
Rerolling 1s. And 2 more attacks with Death to the False Emperor. Which doesn't generate more attacks. So out of 5 attacks, 5 hits, I get 5 attacks, I get 7 hits. I'm strength 16. So I'm winning on 2s. And it's a plague weapon, I rerolled a wound.
Oh no.
And so that's 7 wounds. 7.
7 again.
3 up. Invulnerable saves to make. Each of these doing D6 damage a time. And you fail 1, and you can
Victor of the
re-roll.
Blood Games.
Yes.
So,
He is epic. Can he save it? Yes, he can. He takes every single hit for Mortarian.
Stop trying to hit me and hit me.
This is not going as advertised. I need one of the Brothers Grimm to kill the shield captain here. 2s to hit. And I don't re-roll 1s. He doesn't have that ability. So only 2 hits. It is strength higher than 5. I think it's strength plus 3. I think he's on strength 6 or 7. So I'm winning on 3s. And it is a plague weapon. So I do get 2 wounds through. This guy's got a shield, 3 up invulnerable saves, and each does 3 damage. So you need to make these. And you make them both.
there we go.
He stands firm. And that's the end of the fight phase, and you're definitely not going to pile in with Valoran again, and we can say that's the end of turn 3, right? Definitely?
Sorry to disappoint.
No. He's going to
But wait, there's more!
There's more coming. He steps forward, raises the Watcher's axe, and attacks Mortarian 1 more time. No pressure, Sorcerer Dave. This has got it. You've got to do this. This will be beyond epic if you manage to slay him. This is a once per battle ability, right?
Yep.
Okay.
The Moment Shackle.
The moment-
So, I think it's a piece of Dark Age technology, if I
Is it?
recall. It allows him to basically manipulate time.
Okay.
He can essentially go back in time and have another go.
Well, when you're
Or-
fighting a demon Primarch, that's the time to do it, right?
Yeah.
2s to hit. Rerolling 1s. Everything hits. Right, strength 10. Toughness 7. Did he just wound with... you've already...
Victor of the Blood Games.
Yes. Everything wounds. Oh no. 5 4-up invulnerable saves for Mortarian. For the end of all things.
Don't
For
worry.
Horus.
We've got some jammy, disgustingly resilient rolls at this point, I think, to come still.
I make 3. I fail 2. So 2d3 damage. That's 4 damage. 4 disgustingly resilience. I fail all of them, which means Mortarian is down to 3 wounds left. You fail to kill him, but he fails to scratch anyone around him.
Oh, wait.
Wait, what?
Trajan does have a dagger. It
Does
won't
he?
kill him.
And these guys have daggers as
yeah,
well.
they do, yeah. That's true.
All right, so he's got
Okay.
3 wounds
There's
left.
even more!
Let's do the dagger.
Okay.
2s to hit, 5s to wound.
That's
reroll the 1.
cocked as you like it.
Yeah.
There we
Hits. Doesn't wound. And then 3 daggers from these guys that we forgot.
2. One of them has a shield.
Okay,
So,
2 daggers. I'm glad we corrected it now. Yeah, 2 hits, 5s.
ooh,
2 wounds. How many wounds did I say I have left? 3.
yeah.
4 up and Vun? No. 5 up disgustingly resilient? No. Mortarian's on 1 wound left. Unbelievable. I'm glad we caught it there. And so at the end of this turn, as these heroes of legend continue to battle it out, you have stolen that objective from me and secured objective 1. And you get D3 points for Emperor's Vengeance, taking an objective from me. for 2. So that's 3 points, making it 7 points to 4. I have defended this objective back here, making it 7 points to 6. So the Custodes are in the lead by 1 point, 7 points to 6. And they have taken the Primarch, the Demon Primarch, down to 1 wound left. They've got very few models left in their hand, but they are winning. If I lose Mortarian, well, and I've lost a drone, I'm going to have some Plague Marines, 1 drone, a couple of tanks, and some more Plague Marines left. That was a very brutal turn. That's gone to Death Guard, turn 3. So here are my objectives. I did get that defend objective 4. I've still got defend objective 1 in my hand. So I think I'm going to have to get rid of that next turn. So still got that one. Overwhelming Firepower is the new one I've drawn. Just shoot something to death. In Kingslayer, take out Trajan Valoris. And so with defend objective 1 over there in my hand and the Lord of Contagion still locked up, and with overwhelming Firepower and Kingslayer in my hand, the orders from Mortarian are quite clear. He is a brutal and a cunning warlord, and he's also not stupid. He's not going to stay locked up in a battle with all these Custodes when he knows he's losing that fight. He's dropped back, and so has the bloke drone, and the tank and the drone are now closest to Trajan Valoris. Was him, the HQ of the Custodes. So if I kill him in the shooting phase, that will be overwhelming Firepower and Kingslayer. So yeah, Mortarian is not going to stand and go toe to toe with him. That would be madness. Instead, he's urging one of the Brothers Grimm forward, and the rest of the Plague Marines look like they're going to plunge fire in and down. So let's go on to the Psychic phase. And let's do Smite, because he's the closest. Let's be spiteful. Mortarian smiting Lord Commander. That passes, and it does D3 mortal wounds for 3 mortal wounds. Now Custodes ignore mortal wounds in the Psychic phase on a roll of a 6-up. So yeah, anywhere you want. And you roll 2 6s all of a sudden, and a 4. He's a beast. He takes it, only 1 mortal wound, and then I'm going to do Miasma of Pestilence on... No, do it on these guys here. And that fails. So only 1 mortal wound on him. I think he's down to 6 left, or did he take a wound earlier on? No, he saved everything, isn't he? Yep. Okay, that's the Psychic phase over. Let's shoot some guns. So, this Plague Burst Mortar, everything into Trajan. Let's do the Heavy Slugger, 2s to hit. Are you -1 to hit at the moment?
Yes, I will be.
Because of that guy there. 6 inches?
Should we have a look? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So they all miss. The 2 Entropy Cannons, hitting on 5s, re-rolling 1s. Both miss. D6 shots with the Plague Burst Mortar. For 4 shots, I need 5s. Re-rolling 1s. 1 hit. This is Strength 8. And I re-roll a wound because of Arch Contaminator. 1 wound gets through at -2 AP. He's got a 3-up and vulnerable save.
There it is.
Which he makes. So he
Luck
takes
is turning, finally.
everything from that one. Let's fire the Lantern at him. 3s to hit because of the -1 to hit. Strength a lot. Wounds. You need to make a 3-up and vulnerable save. And that fell off the table. Tension. 1. Oh dear.
However,
yes.
Victor of the Blood Games.
Okay.
It applies to your turn as well.
Does it?
So
you can only do this once, right?
Yep.
Okay.
How much damage would this do in it?
Let me find out. Flat 3 damage. So 3-up and Vun, which you make. Okay, so his Lantern misses. Let's do the Bloat Drone firing up at him. So the Bloat Drone 5s to hit because of the -1 to hit and re-rolling 1s. So 2 hits, Strength 6, Toughness lower than 6. 3s to wound, re-rolling because of Arch Contaminator. 2 wounds, sir, at -2 AP, so 2 more 3-up and vulnerable saves. And you make them. He's
like a boss.
tanking everything. Right, next on to this squad. I am within range of Mortarian for the reroll. I've already fired the bolt gun down at the Terminators, didn't do anything. Now I'm going to overcharge the plasma. So the champion, oh dear, Snake Eyes Gaming, rerolling. He's dead. My champion falls, but one of the shots gets through. And then the other two guys are firing down from the ledge, straight in at the Terminators. 3s and 3s. Rerolling. Okay, so 4 hits get through. This gets my strength 7 to strength 8, but your toughness 5, so I still need 3s to wound.
That was overcharged, that.
Yes.
You rolled a 2.
Did I?
He's still here.
Oh no, another one's dead. Okay.
Sorry.
And I get 2 wounds in. 2 4-up and vulnerable saves on these guys. Or it's 2 damage each. One of them takes 2 wounds and is still stood there. And 2 plasma gunners have fallen, including my champion. Now onto this tank. Now the closest thing in line of sight and range to him is that champion, is this Vexilla, but I can't fire at him because he's a character. These guys are in front and it prevents me from firing his entropy cannons up at him, which prevents me firing the entropy cannons up at Trajan because of these guys here. So the entropy cannons essentially can't fire at anything at all. So the slugger instead, and the slugger can't fire, but I can fire the blight launcher up and over and hit them indirectly. Number of shots. 1 shot. Hitting on a 4. Hits. Wounds on a... That's a wound. Did wound you at strength 8. You need a 4-up and vulnerable save, which you pass. Suddenly making all of these saves. Right, moving around. The last thing left to fire him with this squad of Plague Marines, and we are in range of rapid fire. Oh, Valoris there. So let's put all the guns. I'm not going to overcharge because I found out what happened when I overcharge over there. So let's just fire the plasma. And I'm going to be hitting on 4s. And now I wish I overcharged. Strength 8, toughness 4? Is he normal toughness? Toughness 5, sorry.
5, yeah.
Right. Yeah, 3s to wound. I get 3 wounds in, so he has 3 up invulnerable saves on Valoris. Can I take a wound off of him? Please let it just be 1 more wound. 1 more wound. So he takes a wound. He's down to 5 left, and then let's do the bolt guns. 3 hits, and 1 more wound. 1 2-up save on Valoris. Oh! He takes a humble bolt gun shell, blows off in his kneecap, dropping him down to 4 wounds left. And that's the end of my shooting phase. I killed a Terminator, I think, or didn't I? I scratched a Terminator. I threw all my guns into Valoris and took 2 wounds off of him, including in the psychic phase. That was really disappointing. That was not Kingslayer, and that was not overwhelming firepower. And I'm losing when it comes to command points. So now we're in the fight phase. I need to charge. So this Brothers Grimm needs to kill that annoying thing there, but it's 3 inches to get up. All the Terminators.
I feel quite blessed at the moment, actually, because I didn't foresee him being the closest unit to a lot of shooty stuff after Mortarian had fallen back.
Yes.
So the fact that he's only lost a couple of wounds is
it's good.
Very lucky.
The dice gods, yeah, they swing one way, they swing the other way.
It's not like it's the hand of the Emperor.
It's the hand of the Emperor. Let's see if this brother can get in there. 8. He won't be able to get in there as well. We can do the Overwatch in a second. Does he have any Overwatch, that guy with a banner?
Oh, no.
No? Okay, so that's it for the charge
He
phase.
just throw his shield at you like Captain America, but that's about it.
Okay. Does that mean he drops his shield and he doesn't have it anymore? No, it comes back to his hand.
Very cunningly designed Dark Age technology. It comes back. Magnets and stuff. Yeah, it's fine.
Steve Rogers. And so this guy's going to smack that. This is now the fight phase. So at the start of the fight phase, Host of Plague still goes off. But because he's on 1 wound, it does it on a 6. So on a 6, Valoris will take another wound. That's a 6. And that guy there? Nope. So Valoris drops down to 3 wounds left.
We've already used the moment shackle, so I can't heal those.
No. Now I need to start defending objective 1. So let's try and take out the shield captain before he takes out this brother. 2s and 3s. Rerolling because it's a plague weapon. So 3 hit, 3 wounds, 3 up invulnerable saves.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, he fails too. That is 6 damage. No, he's not in Terminator armor. He's not a victor of the blood games, and you don't have any command points left, so I do manage to finally kill 1 unit this turn, and I don't get any points. I'm not defending that one. I've started to defend that one. I haven't got overwhelming firepower, and I haven't killed the king. So it's still 7 points to the Custodes and 6 points to the Death Guard as we go into Custodes, turn 4. Here are the orders for the Custodes. They ditch supremacy and they still want to take this battle grid. Secure 5, defend 2, and Big Game Hunter. Kill something with a wounds characteristic of 10 or more, such as Mortarian, who's got 1 wound left. So in the Custodes movement phase, they're not interested in 2 or objective 5. The only thing they're interested in is Big Game Hunter, which happens to be Kill the King, which happens to be my Warlord, which happens to be Mortarian. So Trajan has jumped down here. That's 6 inches with 3 inches there. The Custodes have got round the side there before the Vexilla, the +1 attack guy, rolled a big advance. I think it was 11 or 12 and is all the way up there. So we have both of the Vexillas here, the Custodian Guards. We have Trajan Valorous. We have the other shield captain in Terminator armor who just walked forward.
Ooh, 1 moment.
And the other Terminators there. What are you thinking?
I haven't moved him.
Do you need to move him?
Well, I'm thinking in terms of who can I get within range of his bubble by your turn.
Ah, right, yeah, just jumping down, moving forward. Yeah, so the last Vexilla jumps down there. Essentially, this is all of Sorcerer Dave's army. But you're winning by a point. And if you kill him, that's 2 more points. I will defend that objective up there, which means you'll be winning by a point. So let's go on to the shooting phase.
You realise what's happening here?
What's happening?
You're playing Warhammer 40k.
Yes.
I'm playing Kill Team.
Yeah. Sorcerer Dave, say that on camera.
Right, so my problem here is I've got all sorts of guns here, including 3 grenade launchers, actually 4 grenade launchers.
Yes.
5, in fact, that I could unload into Mortarian right now. My problem is it's just not very fitting to unceremoniously shoot the Lord of the Death Guard out of the sky with a bolt round.
Yeah.
When we could run up to him and hit him in the face with a big axe.
Okay.
So.
You want to plant an axe in his face.
Yep.
So you're going to shoot the guns elsewhere.
Indeed.
I completely understand where you're coming from. Here we are after the shooting phase. Everything that was here fired at the Plague Marines up here. It came down to the last shot, to Valorous himself to take away the last Plague Marine. Couldn't fire at the Lord of Contagion because he's a character, wasn't the closest. Didn't want to fire down at the Fetid Bloat Drone because it's toughness 7 on 10 wounds left, or a tank. So just picked on the Plague Marines and has wiped them out. So that's the end of the shooting phase. Now we're on to the charge phase. Who's going to eat the Overwatch from Mortarian? So the 2 Terminators on the left. And I don't get a hit. How far do they go in? And are you declaring against the Lord of Contagion as well? Because you might have trouble fitting in down there. Or just Mortarian.
It's about to get very crowded, so yes. I will declare against the Lord of Contagion.
Okay.
Even though he probably will kill a couple of guys.
He might. Let's see how far you charge.
Uh-oh.
4. That will be enough. You only need to get within an inch. The Alaris Terminators get here. Then the Alaris Captain gets there, and Trajan, because he's up here, he needs to roll at least a 4 to get down there. And, oh yeah, he's happy, he's angry, he's in there. Then the Custodian Guard, and they're in as well. So it looks like this. Trajan is swinging first. He's got +1 attack because of this Vexilla here, so it's 6 attacks as Valorous swings in. 2s to hit. And he re-rolls those 2 1s that he just got. And 5 hits get through. He's strength 10, toughness 7. He's 3s to wound. And you can re-roll 1 of them because of Victor of the Bug Games. So 4 wounds. I have 4 up invulnerable saves to make for Mortarian. And I only make 1. Each of these does D3 damage. I've got Disgustingly Resilient. If you roll 3 1s, you've got 1 more to do, sir. Okay, so that's 5 Disgustingly Resilient. 1 wound left. Mortarian, the Demon Primarch, falls. Now when he dies, on a 4-up he goes pop, and each enemy unit within 7 suffers D3 mortal wounds. But we forgot something. At the start of the fight phase, I've got Host of Plagues, and everything within 7 inches on a 6, because he's so injured, would have taken a mortal wound. So let's do that now. These Terminators are fine. The Terminator Captain is fine. This Vexilla dude, he's fine. The Custodian Guards who ran through, they're okay. And Trajan Valorius himself, fine. So that's fine. The Dice God said no, you forgot. No one took a mortal wound for a Host of Plague. Now on a 4-up, Mortarian explodes in a shower of filth. Mortarian explodes in a shower of filth.
Boom.
Every enemy unit within 7 inches of him takes D3 mortal wounds. This is going to sting, my friend. So on these Terminators here, there's one left with 2 wounds left. 3 mortal wounds. One of the Terminators falls and one will take a wound. The Shield Captain with 6 wounds left. He takes 2. He's down to 4. This unit of Custodian Guard that came running down there, they take 1, but there was 1 at the back and 1 wound left. Vexilla Praetor, he takes 2 wounds left. He's 2 wounds. He's down to 2 wounds left. And D3 mortal wounds on Valorous himself, who's got 3 wounds left. Will Mortarian be able to kill him in his death throes?
His work is finished. If it happens, it happens, and it doesn't.
Just takes a wound. And then it looks like this, and that is Kingslayer as well as Big Game Hunter. And the last Terminator now gets to swing against the one of the brothers, Grim. He has 4 attacks, so he hits on 2s. And there's a Shield Captain nearby, didn't need the reroll. Strength 8, Toughness 7. And do you get to reroll that one? Yeah, you do. You're right next to Trajan Valorous. So 3 wounds get through. I have 3 4-up Cataphractii Terminator saves to make. I don't know what the other one is. That's a 4. He makes them all. He stands firm and swings back, my Lord's Contagion. 2s to hit. No re-rolling 1s, but with Death to the False Emperor, that's an extra attack. So 3 hits get through. I will wound on 3s, and it's a plague weapon. So I get 3 wounds on this last Terminator. He has 3 4-up invulnerable saves to make, or it does a flat 3 damage. And you fail them. The wounds don't spill over. He does kill the last Terminator as he watches Mortarian collapse beside him. And that is the end of Custodes Turn 4. And all you have left is here a couple of Shield Captains. Trajan is down to 2 wounds left. Some Custodian Guard. And your other Shield Captain down here. But all I've got left is 2 empty Rhinos. A couple of tanks. Lord of Contagion, Bloat Drone, and some Plague Marines up there. Pretty much all of my army is here. All of your army is here. -1 Lord of Contagion up on Objective 1 over there. We've been tearing chunks out of each other. And you get 2 points. 1 for Big Game Hunter, 1 for killing the King, 1 for Slay the Warlord. Puts you 9 points in the lead. I have defended that objective. Gets me 2 points back. Sorry, so not you weren't 9 points in the lead. You were 3 points in the lead. Sorry, 9 points to 6. And I get 2 points for defending that objective, so it's 9 points to 8. So the Custodes are a point in the lead. Very few models left on the table, but they've achieved their mission. They've taken out the Demon Primarch Mortarian.
Here's a fun fact about the Custodes.
Yes.
Every time they go to war,
yes,
the Adeptus Administratum automatically registers it as a victory for the Imperium.
Do
So let the record show that we won here today, regardless of what else happens.
Well, you may still win officially or unofficially because you're a point in the lead. I've got very few things left. So let's go on to Death Guard turn 4. So I was able to draw another objective because I defended Objective 1. I've got Secure Objective 4, Overwhelming Firepower, and Kingslayer. Here we are in the Death Guard movement phase. Both of the Rhinos booking it up the street, advancing as quickly as they can to get into the enemy deployment zone because Linebreaker is a thing and you're in my deployment zone and that could be game-changing. You're 1 point in the lead, but I'm now securing Objective 4 with the Tallyman, so that will be a draw. And I didn't move with both of my tanks because as soon as I move, they'll be hitting on 5s. And because of that annoying banner, I'll be hitting on 6s. So I can't move. I have to stay still. So I have stay still. This tank can draw line of sight to that shield captain there on the edge with the front of his entropy cannon there. And one of the Brothers Grimm, if I don't kill him with overwhelming firepower, Valorous himself, then that Brothers Grimm, that Lord of Contagion, will go wheeling in there and get me Kingslayer. It will happen. So let's go into the shooting phase. Right, this thing firing at that shield captain, entropy cannon, 5s to hit because of... That's a miss, because of that thing there. I really like that banner. When my Custodes turn up, I'm getting that banner. That was the entropy cannon. Sluggers, 1 hits, doesn't wound. It isn't a plague weapon, and the plague burst mortar over the top is 5 shots. I need 4s, which is 5s because of the banner, and everything misses from that tank. All right, let's rinse and repeat from this one. Now, it's a minimum range on that mortar, which is 12. So the only thing I can actually fire at is one of these characters here, but they're characters, so I can't fire at them. So the Plague Burst Mortar, firing shells over the top of these Custodes, yet inside my fire for effect range. So I'm not hitting you with those things, but I can hit Trajan Valorous with 2 entropy cannons on 5s. And 1 hits, and it will wound him on a 3. And it wounds him. He has a 3-up invulnerable save to make, or he takes d6 damage.
Come on, lad.
Tension.
You've made it this far.
It's a 3.
It is a 3. It is a 3. He makes it. So let's do the slugger. And it hits once, and it wounds on 5, and it doesn't wound. So both of the tanks far wide. It's down to that drone. That drone will hit on 5s. And it hits twice. It's strength 6. Toughness less than 6. Wounds on 3s. They both wound at -2 AP, D3 damage each. 2 3-up invulnerable saves on your Warlord, sir. And you make 1 fail 1. This does D3 damage. He's got 2 wounds left. Will the HQ...
Oh,
what?
Wait a minute. That was a save, right?
Yes.
Victor of the Blood Games.
So you can reroll 1 save in the shooting phase. I like it. And it hit the floor. Tension. And you make the save.
Best stratagem in the Custodes Codex, if you ask me.
Right, okay. So these Plague Marines will fire down at him. So let's measure up. I think I'm in 18-inch range for rapid fire goodness. Yes, definitely. But I am hitting on 4s, not overcharging the plasma. This is the plasma, so 3 hits. I need 3s to wound. 2 wounds. 2 3-up invulnerable saves. 2 wounds left. What's the worst that can happen?
You said it now.
He fails both of his saves. No re-rolling. He is slain, and that is overwhelming firepower. And that is Kingslayer. Then in the charge phase, the second of the Brothers Grimm goes charging into this shield captain here. I mean to take this command structure apart. So I'm hitting on 2s. And because I'm in range of the Tallyman, I'm re-rolling to hit. Because that was good, because I only hit twice. And everything hits. And the 6 explodes with death to the False Emperor. And does 5 hits this time. Interesting. 5 out of 4 attacks. Now it's strength high, 6 or 7, so I am wounding on 3s. And it is a plague weapon, so I'm re-rolling those 2 1s there. For 4 wounds. 4 wounds get through on this shield captain in Terminator armor. Does he have a 3-up invuln? Or...
He does, because he's got the special helmet that I can't remember the name.
Yes.
So Eagle's Eye, that was the
4 3-up invulnerable saves. He's a victor of the Blood Games as well, isn't he?
Is.
So you can re-roll one of these. So
one other thing worth pointing out as well, actually, by eliminating Trajan, you've also eliminated his Warlord trait.
Okay.
Which was everything within 12 gets to heroically intervene.
Ah.
So potentially, if Trajan was still alive, you'd not only have to deal with him, but these custodians as well.
But now they can't heroically intervene. I like it. Okay. 3 3-up invulns, 4 4-up invulns, sorry. 3-up invulns, 3-up invulns 4 times. That's what I meant to say. Getting excited. You make them all. He gets to strike me back now. And he's in range of this banner guy, so instead of 5 attacks, he gets 6 attacks. And he'll hit on 2s, and he's in range of himself.
A nice shiny dagger.
Plus a shiny dagger, yeah. 2s to hit. Re-rolling. And he's strength 8, so he's wounding on 3s. No re-rolling for this, but you're victor of the blood game, so can you re-roll 1 wound?
I can, yes.
Oh dear. All 6 get through. 6 invulnerable saves. And I make 5 of them, only failing 1. That's D3 damage with your Castellan Axa. 3 disgustingly resilience. That brother takes 2 wounds, he's down to 4 left, and then you stab me with your dagger, the Misericordia.
Even Stevens now,
yeah.
But will this change it?
Off the table, well done.
I'm making a wonderful habit of that.
Yeah, that's a hit. Wounds on a 4, that doesn't wound. And at the end of turn 4 for the Death Guard, as this Lord of Contagion steps forward and takes revenge for Mortarian's death, I do score objective 4, making it 9 points to 9. I got overwhelming firepower, I killed something in the shooting phase, 10 points to 9. And I get D3 points for Kingslayer. 2 more points, so it's 12 points to the Death Guard, 9 points to the Custodes, as we move into Custodes Turn 5. Here are the Death Guard orders. They ignored one of those defend objective orders and now need to advance out of their deployment zone, which they have. Defended objective 2 and secure objective 3, which is close by. In the Custodes movement phase, this shield captain goes back to secure objective 3, so there's a point. Everyone has advanced outside of the Custodes deployment zone, so there's another point. That'll be 2 points. So Sorcerer Dave really needs this to go on to turn 6 or turn 7. And the rest of his army is surrounding the Tallyman and my Lord of Contagion. So 4 Guardian Spears shooting into the Tallyman, hitting on 2s. And they all hit. Strength 4, toughness 5. 3 get through, and it's minus 1 AP, 2 damage each. So 4s. I fail 2, and it's 2 damage each, so I need to make 4 disgustingly resilience. And I make 2 of them. The Tallyman's on 2 wounds left. He starts off with 4. He's down to 2 left. Now, you can't shoot a character behind something if there's something closer, because he's not the closest enemy unit, unless the thing in front of it is another character. So this guy can shoot past my character who's locked in combat and shoot that. Previously, you wouldn't have been able to shoot, but the FAC has overruled it. So is he shooting the Tallyman as well?
He is.
And it frees these guys up to charge the tank. See what we're doing. Okay, so firing away with his grenade launcher. Number of shots. 3 shots. It's nice. 2s to hit. Rerolling the 1. And 5s to wound. No wounds. Nope. The Tallyman stands. And that's it for the shooting phase. Then in the charge phase, it ends up like this. The brother is surrounded, and these 2 Custodes charge the Tallyman, but also piled in to the tank. Didn't declare a charge on the tank, so can't strike the tank. However, it stops the tank from shooting in my shooting phase because there's an enemy within an inch of him. And now both of these guys can strike the Tallyman. He's within an inch, and this guy's within an inch of someone who's within an inch, so they can all hit the Tallyman, and they're in range of the buffs, so instead of their normal 3 attacks, they have 4 attacks, so that's 8 attacks each. And he was wiped out very quickly. They only had to sneeze at him, and now we've got your shield captain trying to take on the second of the Brothers Grimm. He's got an extra attack because of the buffs. Let's do it. So 6 attacks, hitting on 2s. And re-rolling any 1s? No 1s. Strength 8, wounding on 3s. And he's a victor of the blood game, so he gets to re-roll one of those.
The 1 for himself because he's a captain.
Okay.
Wait, no.
This is the wound, so that's your re-roll.
That failed anyway.
Yeah. So 4 up and vulnerable saves. I make 3, fail 1. It does D3 damage.
Okay.
For 2 damage, 2 disgustingly resilience. I make 1 of them as well. So the brother only loses 1 wound. He's got 3 left, but then you can stab him with your Misericordia, which hits on a 2 and will wound on a 4. And I don't know what that is.
That is a 4.
And I need a 4 up and run. which I fail, and a Disgustingly Resilient only does 1 damage, which I fail. So the brother's down to 2 wounds left, and now these Vexillas can swing in. So who's fighting next?
This gentleman here.
That gentleman there, what's he using?
He's using his Misericordia dagger, which is specifically for these guys for killing heretic Space Marines with, so it's appropriate. That'll be 6 attacks because he's got 1 additional thanks to the Misericordia's own ability.
Yes.
And 1 additional because of his own banner.
Okay, I like it. So 2's to hit. And he's in range of the shield captain there. So they all hit. And this is strength +1. Strength user, strength 5, toughness 5. 4's to wound. Is 2 wounds? Just 2. -2 AP. 3 wounds. Right? 3 wounds. -2 AP, 3 4-up and runs. And I failed 2. He has 2 wounds left. And he makes 1 of his Disgustingly Resilient. He's still alive on 1 wound left. And now you got the last guy trying to kill him. 5 attacks on this guy.
Only 5 on account of him having a storm shield.
Yes. So. 2's.
Right.
Everything hits. And 4's. 2 wounds. 2 4-up and buns. And 2 Disgustingly Resilience. The last of the brothers falls. Or rather, the first of the brothers falls. Sorry, mate. The other one's still alive up there next to the comms tower. And then the tank struck back, didn't do anything to these Custodian Guard, and that's the end of Custodes Turn 5. And you get 2 points. You've got Objective 3. You have advanced outside of your deployment zone. The Death Guard are still in it by 1 point, but I've got a couple of tanks left and some Plague Marines. I've got not a lot left on the table. Mind you, you've got 5 models here, plus 1 model there. You've got 6 models left. As you say, you've been playing Kill Team, I've been playing 40k. So let's go into Death Guard Turn 5. Here are the orders for the end of all things. Death begets life. Basically, I need to kill 7 models and I get a point, and I don't think the Custodes have 7 models left on the table. And Disgusting Devotions. Keep a tally of the number of Disgustingly Resilient rolls I make each turn, and if I get 7, I get a point. So it's highly unlikely either of them is going to happen. And Psychological Warfare. Make the Custodes fail a morale test. Well, that is highly unlikely to happen either. I'm not going to be able to score any of these. In the movement phase, the last of the Brothers Grimm looks for a doorway into that comms tower, and the rhinos continue to chug down the street, and the rest of my army is here. This Plague Breast Crawler breaking back out of combat, so it won't be able to shoot the bloat drone up safer. And this thing here is now in range and line of sight to the annoying Vexilla. So let's fire at that annoying Vexilla, but it is 5's to hit, and I hit once. It will be 3's to wound, and that is a wound. He has a Storm Shield, so you need to make a 3-up and vulnerable save, or take D6 damage. 2. Uh-oh. And how many wounds has he got left? He's got 2 left.
He's
6.
had it.
He's dead. He's just got vaporized by an entropy cannon. Should have declared all of the shots were going into him, obviously. So at least it's no longer -1 to hit. So now I'm going to fire with the bloat drone down in at this unit of Custodes here, and I'm going to spend one of my last command points on Veterans of the Long War, which is +1 to wound. I believe it's +1 to wound. Anyway, I'm going to need force to hit them finally, and that number of hits. Only 2 hits. Strength 6, toughness 5, so winning on 3s, with Veterans winning on 2s. And re-rolling 1s because it's a plague weapon, so only 1 wound gets through. 1 4-up and vulnerable save on your Custodian Guard. And you fail. It does D3 mortal wounds, D3 wounds, for 2 wounds. So one of them is still alive. Then we will unload with the Plague Marines down onto this squad as well. And the Plague Marines managed to take out 1 Custodian Guards, and that's the end of my shooting phase, and I'm not charging anything. In fact, that's the end of Custodes Turn 5. And I'm winning by 1 point. I don't get any points there for Disgusting Devotions or anything like that at all. Certainly no Psychological Warfare. But I've whittled this Custodes army down to 4 models remaining. Winning by 1 point. They have Linebreaker. I have Linebreaker with my 2 rhinos up there as well. In fact, if I hadn't busted them up the street earlier on, it would be a draw right now. So I'm winning by 1 point. And the player who went first rolls a dice, and that was you, Sorcerer Dave. And on a 1-2, I'm afraid you lose. But on a 3-up, you might have a chance of stealing a couple more objectives, particularly as I've got these stinky objective orders in my hand right now. With Mortarian down, it seems like High Command are just issuing bilge to me. Nothing that I can use, nothing I can work with. So let's roll up.
Well, it's been a game sort of decided by the dice, to be honest. So
it's a 4. We're going on to Custodes Turn 6. And here are the orders for the Custodes. Defend 3, and one of the shield captains, the only remaining shield captain, is stood on it, defending it. Then scour the skies, take out that fetid bloat drone, and hold the line. Well, the line isn't going to happen because they don't have any objectives. They don't have any units back in their own deployment zone. Here we are after the Custodes movement phase. They have achieved their mission. They've taken out one of the brothers. They've taken out Mortarian. They've wrecked my command structure back here, and now they're pulling back. There's the Guardian, here's the 2 Vexillers, and this lone hero is defending Objective 3, and he's a character. And there's models in front of them, so I cannot target that character. I can shoot past one character to another, but I can't shoot past 2 characters to him. Even though my bloat drones, even though my Plague Burst crawlers can fire indirectly, I can't pick on that character back there. So currently I'm winning by 1 point, but at the end of my turn, Sorcerer Dave will be gaining 2 points for defending Objective 3 and winning by 1 point. Because you advanced, there's nothing else, no fighting, no shooting, no nothing. That's the end of Sorcerer Dave's turn. 5 or 6? We're on 6. So let's go on to Death Guard turn 6 and see if these heroes of the Imperium have won or whether the Death Guard lose. Alright, I ditched Death Begets Life last turn. I can't get Disgusting Devotions. I can't get Psychological Warfare. Dave's going to win by 1 point. It's going to be a 2-point swing for defending that objective unless this one is a good one. Big Game Hunter. Kills something with a wounds characteristic of 10 or more. I can't get that one either. So I'm winning by 1 point, and at the end of this turn, Dave's going to get 2 points for defending that objective there. I've got to hope it goes on to turn 7 and try and shoot my way through these guys here. So let's go on to the shooting phase. And in my shooting phase, it was still -1 to hit. I could only shoot the guy in front, the troop, until he was dead. And then I put a few rounds into this guy back here and took a couple of wounds off of him as well. And that's the end of turn 6. For the end of all things, you get 2 points. For defending Objective 3, I get 0 points. Haven't managed to achieve any of my objectives. Now my command structure has fallen apart. Does the game end? The game ends. This is the way the world ends. And I've no idea what happened there. It is a victory for the Custodes. What happened?
Something the Emperor influenced.
Yeah.
Divine intervention.
What happened was you failed every single save you were called upon to make in the first and second turn, and to be fair, you still failed saving throws when you were called upon to make them, but your hitting and the wounding, you didn't fail then. And when you hit my lines, it was like getting hit by a truck. It just crumbled. Mortarian crumbled, the brothers crumbled, Plague Marine squads, one after the other. You just smashed your way through them. I like it. You got, was it 3 models left?
It is only 3.
Only 3 guys left and you win the game.
We definitely bled for that victory.
So that's your first time against Mortarian. What do you think of him? He's not all that, is he?
He's, he has the similar problem to the Custodes, right?
Yeah.
He's scary on paper and therefore people overcompensate when trying to deal with him.
Yeah.
The Custodes have a similar problem. You get into a fight where they're involved and the opposition's immediate reaction is shoot the gold!
Yeah.
Everything shoot the gold! But Mortarian is kind of the same. My instinct at the start of the game was to fire everything I could at him.
Yes.
Whereas, actually, it wasn't that bad. I mean, I was definitely worried about his aura of mortal wounds in the fight phase.
Yeah, I did.
Because Custodes hate mortal wounds.
He smashed those 2 pikes with no trouble at all, but then you surrounded him with, you were getting 11 and 12s on the charge and just swarmed him. And then all of his attacks, you block them all with your 3-up invulnerable save, so it doesn't matter how good he is. If you've got the invulnerable, you're just laughing at him.
Yep. This is Custodes at the end of the day. I said this at the start when we were getting ready, but they are weird. they are an army that you can expect to lose and will actually win.
Yes.
An army where you think, oh, they've totally lost this. They're
Yes.
down and out completely. And then suddenly they don't.
Yeah.
A lot of it comes down to whether or not you can make those invulnerable saves. So like you can either drop like flies like at the start, or
Yeah.
all of a sudden all of them are completely invincible
Yeah.
and just impossible to get rid of. Which is what happened in the tail end of the game.
We saw both sides of it. We saw them dropping like flies, and we saw them being completely invincible. I did like Mortarian's buff thing that was going on there. He was re-rolling the hit rolls of 1. There was re-rolling with the wounds. It was doing negative modifiers to your toughness, keeping him back and shooting for a turn or 2 before throwing him up the table. Seems like a viable tactic. Maybe I should have spent one more turn shooting you and taking some wounds away first before committing myself, but I just wanted to get that side in action, the sweeping and the slaughter and the... Anyway, Mortarian came to this place, came to this untouched section of Babington 9 to find out what was going on here and start sowing the seeds for Grandfather Nurgle, and the Custodes stood in his way and have repelled him, sent his soul screaming back to the warp. So it's been a loss for the end of all things somehow on Babington 9. One of the brothers still stands though. And I want to thank Sorcerer Dave for coming down and playing with me. Thank you very much.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for being a patron. You're also awarded by patrons, so I appreciate that. And if anyone else wants to support me, they can join me on Patreon. There's Discord chat rooms, and we're quite chatty on the chat rooms, aren't we?
Yeah, very actually.
It's quite a vocal forum. I like it on there. So if you want to support me, you can. It's up to you. If you want to see more Winter's SEO battle reports, then you can check out deploymentzone.tv. This battle mat comes from urbanmats.com. This terrain comes from zenterrain.com. The fences and some of the small items that I've chucked on the battle grid come from foreground.co.uk. I think those are all the shouts out I need to do. Hopefully you guys will choose to support me and check out some more videos on deploymentzone.tv. And that's it. Thanks to Sorcerer Dave for coming down. Thank you everyone for watching. Happy wargaming.